Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the live stream. I took my time setting everything up this time round. Have a few things to do. So, yeah, and also I figured that generally these live streams tend to go a little bit better if you wait for a tiny bit before you start streaming. Gives people a chance to, see the notification, if nothing else, and join in. So yeah, that's all fine and well. Let me just open up the stream on the phone so I can keep track of what it looks like. And it shan't open for some reason. Is that a YouTube problem? Ah, there we go. Now I was trying to open the VOD, apparently. Right. Good. Well, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 8 of Let's Play Borderlands 3. Slightly shorter stream today. Sorry, I have to close the window. I'm getting pretty cold. Slightly shorter stream today. Let me just switch to game capture. Here we go. Because I have a lot of things to do in the afternoon. I need to go and, well, essentially argue with my ISP because they're charging me for stuff that I'm not using, and so they need to stop doing that, if at all possible. That would be grand. Why is it saying no data? Oh no, everything's fine. There we go. Oh, error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Why? I haven't changed anything. Is it because I was loading in to the game thingamajig? Okay, well, you know what? This is why I have the stream open on my phone, so I can keep track of everything. And see if there really is buffering, as the widget is saying, which I don't think there is. I reckon the only reason it said that was because of the scene switching from one to the other. Because it needs a moment to hook to the full screen application. Being this. Anyways. We are going to do the Kevin Conundrum. Spelled with a K for some reason. And these disgusting little Kevin monsters have reproduced at an alarming rate. You gotta save the ship from the infestation. Right. So we need to take the freeze gun. Do I possess said freeze gun? No, I need to grab the freeze gun. It's annoying that triggers every time I go past it, but what can you do? Anyways. No, yeah, the error thing went away. It was just because I've switched from one scene to the other. This is underneath the ship still. Is it in the cargo bay? Could be. From last time, I didn't actually do any of the quests or anything. All I did was I went back to Sanctuary, I sold a couple of things, and I bought the SDU improvements that I said I would. Hello. Ah, so these are all the people that I, KOS'd. Well, I like how he's keeping track of that. That is pretty cool. Let's go this way and grab that gun.
Now that you've got a cryo weapon, freeze Kevin in place, then snatch him up.
Right. The cryo weapon in question. Kevin, stop resisting.
You got him! Oh, Kevin, my life was utterly devoid of meaning without you.
Vault Hunter, these Kevin creatures must be destroyed. They're reproducing.
Why are we calling them Kevin creatures?
I'm a grandpapa? Oh, I've never been happier!
Yes, well, as I was saying, the Kevins must be captured and dumped into space.
What? No! 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 I'll get you for this!
are important to Claptrap for some reason, but this is an infestation, and they must be disposed of.
I guess
Right.
now we know who the real monster is. It's you, Tannis.
Whatever you say, Claptrap. No, they're nearly impervious to damage. You have to freeze them.
Well, I am freezing them. What are you talking about? Although for some reason every time I freeze someone there is a giant explosion that happens around them. I have a sneaking suspicion it's due to some of my skills, but yeah.
Then we'll have to dispose of them.
Oh, the bot's helping too. Trying to shoot them. That's interesting. Well, anyways, I am, for one, glad that I saved this for the beginning of the stream, because, well, you know.
Excellent work. Now grab it. Good catch.
I like how the...
If Kevins continue reproducing, we'll be more Kevin than crew within a week.
Good. Kevins are better than humans anyway.
Honestly, I kind of agree, unless they start eating the ship or something. It reminds me a lot of that Star Trek episode, the one with the furry little beasties that they had.
That's nearly all of them.
Okay, there's one more Kevin, right? And it is on this level. Oh, fittingly in the bar, is it?
Again, you cannot use conventional firearms against these.
I'm not using a conventional firearm. God, this is the exact same thing that happened in Borderlands 2, because I had the corrosive cloud ability as the siren. Basically, every time you hit someone, there's a corrosive cloud that appears. And I had so much trouble doing some quests with that thing, because you can't turn it off. And oftentimes, right, we're going to do a little bit of a gambling simulator here, for no reason whatsoever. Why are you the way you are? Okay, like why? You know what's happening? The mod's not working. The sodding mod is not working again. Isn't press secondary. Mods. Pick up as trash. Disable. Enable. Let's try that again. Also, yes, I understand. I just blew myself up.
The system is rigged. Freaking corporations. Oh, I am so gonna kill that guy.
Quit. Mods.
Remember, if something goes
Pick up as trash.
shooting. I should get a hobby other than lifting.
No, it's not working. I mean, on the white ones, at least I have auto sell, but... Oh, for crying out loud. Sometimes it just starts working, so... That's what I'm gonna hope is going to happen. If not, I'll guess I'll restart the game. Anyways, let's go dump these Kevins. Well, as far as YouTube side of things is concerned, though, we are eating good today. I released 2 videos last night. Admittedly on accident. I meant for the second one to get released today, but I figured, you know, why not? What the hell? Let's do both anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
The ship is safer.
You know, that's not a bad idea. Just get Claptrap in the... and just vent him into space. We can come pick him up later if we want, you know, it's not like there's going to be anything wrong with him. We could do it, just saying, it is possible. How many of these diamond keys do I have? 66. Right, not an infinite amount. Probably should keep that in mind, I suppose. Okay, let's go... let's get out of here. So, map... We're going into this, and then it's orbit view, right? Yeah. So, Eden 6, the Floodmore Basin, and then somewhere within this Floodmore Basin is our... So there's a drop pod, there's this. Let's go to the Reliance. Fortunately, it doesn't show you until you fast travel, but somewhere in here we need to go for the main quest. And I think there's it's at the edge of the map. It's going to lead us somewhere, but we will see. Alright, here we go. So, respawn the vehicle, if I remember correctly. This is the one I used last time, yes. Good. And we're going to the Voracious Canopy. Right. Yes, I remember now. Alright. If the pick up a trash thing doesn't work, well, I'm gonna get to the Voracious Canopy first anyway, just to make sure I don't have to backtrack again, or I don't have to do the same trek again. But if it doesn't work, I'll have to restart the game. I also am hoping that because one of the Borderlands adjacent things isn't working, that something for YouTube will. So, uptime. Let's see. Juggernaut has been streaming for not live. Well, that's just phenomenal, because I am looking at something here. What do you need me to do to prove to you that I'm live? Okay, join the channel. A ball, will the bot work today? Let's try that. Well, I got my answer. It probably will not, but I did have to reset it, so... Yeah, I mean, Stream Element says I'm live, that's the funniest thing. It says so right here. Look at that. Connect a new channel, add YouTube channel. No, there it is, it's connected. Overlay token and everything. JWT token, whatever the hell that means. I'll try again. Uptime. Hey, it works. Okay, now, 8-ball. Will you behave for once? The 8-ball says 9. Lovely. Lovely. What more could you possibly want? There you go. We have all the answers. Ladies and gentlemen, lo and behold. The AI is taking over. That's it. I mean, I understand that not even chatbot. Well, chatbot's true, but I understand that stream bots like Stream Elements aren't AI in any sense of the word, or any liberal interpretation of it. But regardless of the fact, right, it's still pissing me off, and it's still rebelling against me, so you tell me.
Oh, this sucks. Help! Help! Oh, wait. I'm picking up an echo signal. Hell yeah. I'm saved. Over here!
Slow down, whoever you are. I'm looking for the family jewel.
Oh, I know the family jewel.
No, not in that sense, though.
Navigator. I'll prove it. Here's coordinates for my ass. Now come save it.
Stay down, scrub.
Okay, but now I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there's something else that's not working, I think. And I have to check that as well. Oh, this is just... why are you like this? And I hate everything about the way you choose to be. Chat overlay, edit. Your stream chat, settings. Messages fade after 120 seconds. I don't need to change anything. Why are the messages not fading after 120 seconds? They are. Right? Yep, they are. Okay, it's more than 120 seconds. I was counting, but I suppose there is some sort of delay with that as well, so it's slightly more than 120, despite it saying being 120, but you know what, we don't really care about that. It's fine, like, it's I put it there as a rough estimate. I don't need it to be, like, perfect in every single way, but, you know. Oh, and guess what? The Pick Up as Trash mod is now working. I think I figured it out. It doesn't want to work on the Sanctuary. Why it doesn't is absolutely beyond me, yes, but it doesn't. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you know. It just doesn't. I think I'm going to use the pistol for a while. Right, now, last time we were doing the whole green side of the thing, and I reckon we should continue a little bit more down this way. Actually, I should probably grab this, right? Yeah. Direct hits with V35 deal increase damage. Equip, because I haven't equipped the secondary, what is this, like, augment, right? Yeah, it's a skill augment. So I should definitely equip that. Good. Pistol equipped, everything's working, and here we go. Today,
All right,
ladies and gentlemen,
Felix, where are you?
the topic of conversation, the story time, if you will, between...
I'm kinda in the
No,
middle of
hold on,
something,
let's wait.
and that something is a big
Let him say what he
fucking
has.
dinosaur. Heads up!
Oh, there's a giant dinosaur. Ah, well, it's just a tyrant, don't worry about it.
Oh man, I'm out, man. Damn, it was nasty as hell in there.
Big dino.
Over here, in the ratty ass stuffed plushie. Come pick me up.
Cut him down, cub.
Honestly,
I can feel this
I'm really conflicted about this gun. It's a legendary weapon, it's a phenomenal weapon, but I'm really conflicted with the fact that it's a shotgun. I don't want it to be a shotgun. I want a proper assault rifle, right? Like
Hey,
a traditional AR or AK, if you will, style rifle. But, you
There's
know.
a piece of a vault key in it. Wainwright Jacob sent me.
Yeah.
Oh, you're with Wainwright. Okay, alright. Yeah, I'll show you where the family jewel is. It's in a gorge nearby. I can get you inside. Yeah, I can get that open. Navigate it, bitches.
Okay, if you say so. Topic of conversation today.
Looks like
Two things. One,
I had to make an emergency landing after a
yeah, I'm gonna get interrupted a lot, I figure. It is a very impressive piece of scenery, though. Look at this. The entire ship crash landed. The family jewel, by the way, is the name of the ship. It's not just, yeah.
Now that I got you, take him back to
It's not just an innuendo or something.
Genevieve's locked it down tight, but I know all the back routes. Pays to have a navigator on your side, huh? Yeah, these sticky bitches get... Oh, crap. The ratchets are back. I thought I got that cleared up. Cut those hydraulic lines.
Yeah, whatever. Anywho,
The hatch is open.
as I was saying, get rid of that.
Thank you.
Pistol's going to be very useful in here because it's all, well, it's mostly close quarters inside the ship,
Don't look like it now, but
I assume.
this is one fine-ass vessel. Shameful.
Felix, you little cutie idiot. Why are you here? Didn't I install you in a kid's toy and toss you out with the trash?
Cram it, Genevieve.
Oh.
I got a friend now. We're here for the key
So
fragment.
much like...
I know you got it in the security hold.
Oh, sorry. That's spoken for. Aurelia said if I brought it back to her, she'd buy me a dreadnought. So I'm gonna do that.
Right, so much like the chatbots in my stream, the AI here is rebelling.
Come on in. What you gonna do? Navigate me to death? Sure to course up your own ass.
I can do more than navigate. Vault Hunter, go through the medical bay.
Alright, fair enough.
Stupid.
We'll do it. Anyways, as I was saying, topic of conversation today is my ISP, because, you know, I'm not going to target anyone specifically or mention any names or companies or whatever, but I figure it's a funny enough situation that warrants some mockery, if nothing else. And I suppose if I give away one detail, then you'll know enough about my ISP if you care to you know, come to your own conclusions about it. So I will just say that it is the biggest ISP in the country. It owns most of the other, well, it bought most of the other smaller ISPs. That's, you know, it was provided, by the way, for the record, and it bought most of its competition, and so we're not dealing with like your mum and dad's ISP local small thing, right? So it's a multi-billion-dollar company, probably, or $1 million company, whatever. So here's the thing. I got optic cable internet, or optic fiber internet. It works phenomenally well. I have not had a dip in the upload or download speed at any point. Everything is working fine. I also have television as part of the package, and also have a landline. Some of you might be confused as to what a landline is, especially the younger viewing audience. You are forced to buy a landline in this country. You have to have one. Well, not with every ISP, but with this one, they sell you the landline first, and then everything else is a bonus, which is just part of an antiquated system where, you know, back in the day when I was a lot younger and a lot more optimistic about life, internet used to be a thing that goes through your landline, right? And so if, for any reason, you wanted to call someone, no internet for you until that call is over. And if you want internet, you dial the internet, right? Hence the dial-up modems, right? Yeah, you literally dial a number, and now through your phone, you have internet. You can imagine it was very fast. Upwards of, like, you know, 20 kilobits per second and stuff like that. I am exaggerating a little bit, but it was slow as hell, obviously. But that was like the first technology that got introduced, and it was one of the first ways of connecting to the internet. And ever since those days, the sort of format of selling you a landline stuck with this company, and you have to have it, right? Otherwise, you have to have a landline, and then you can pick other services in your package. You can have a mobile plan if you want, you can have internet, you can have television, you can have all of it, but a landline is mandatory. Silly, right? There's the first problem already. We're in a very antiquated system. But, they come over, and I'm negotiating with them over the price, over the contract and stuff, and here's my biggest problem. You negotiate with them and you haggle with them like you're in a farmer's market, or, well, no, even the farmer's market has a little bit more dignity and a little bit more persistence, shall we say, right? The I don't know, the local Eastern European or Asia Minor bazaar has less haggling and less, you know, overall, how would I... Could I please get please get revived? That was highly rude of them, thank you. Anywho, as I was saying, like, even that has less haggling and less scummy scams and policies and whatever than this, but we'll get to that in a bit. So I talk to them, and they say, right, so here are the terms and conditions of your contract. You get to keep the same landline number. I really don't care, I tell them, but okay, thank you. and then you get this, 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 and this.
Have clearance.
Alright, fair enough. Can you give me a discount? Because I've been using the company that you bought for like a long amount of time, and I know that your competition is offering better prices for more or less the same things that I need. I understand that you have a slightly higher upload speed and so on and so forth, so I'm willing to pay a little bit more. You also have a... Oh, sorry, you're shooting me with healing. Right. I thought we were enemies for a second. How do I... Okay, so this is not a melee? Ah, melee, right. There we go.
Now install me on the bot. I'm in.
There you go.
I'm alive.
Well, you were alive up until now as well. Well, alive being a relative term. Anywho,
Oh man.
that's what we agreed to. Half of that isn't in the contract. And so they bring the contract over, and I call the tech support guys, and I'm like, right, half of what we agreed to is not in the contract. The conversation I had with your sales representative is recorded, supposedly. I had it at this time on this date. You can check back. This is what we agreed to. This is what was promised to me. Why is it not in the contract? To which I receive an answer that's highly suspicious, but again, this is not the Nigerian prince from the email phishing scams that I'm talking to. It's the biggest ISP in the country. And so you sort of tend to have a slightly different approach to that. As in, you don't expect to get scammed by them. And so they tell me that all the contracts they send out are exactly the same, and that the specifics of the contract are not entered on paper because they can change, and they would need to formulate a new contract each time some of the conditions change, and so they give you a general broad contract that never changes, and all the specifics and extra discounts and stuff like that, that is added later onto your virtual account, or whatever you want to call it, like your virtual... It's not a virtual contract, but they have a forum where it's all written out for you. Fine, not a problem, we'll go with it. I am in the... Can you please open this? I am in the security bay. Oh, this is one of those escort missions where I need to wait for him to arrive. Oh, for crying out loud, come on. I get the feeling this is supposed to open. Anyways, while I go and find my friend that is supposed to open the door for me, I agree to said terms, and I asked them one particular question that I was very interested in, and that is HBO. One of the things that they offered was not the HBO app, but the HBO channels and video on demand within their TV thing, which is effectively the same thing, if we're going to be honest with each other, right? Okay, you can't view it through the app, you have to view it through your TV, but it's, for me, functionally speaking, it's pretty much the same thing. On the website, for any user ever, for all of the users, it says what you can do is you can log in to the HBO thing, and you can use the HBO thing for 2 years, and you're not going to have, you don't have to pay for anything, right? So far, so good. Go to log into the HBO thing, and it's asking me for a $10 a month, or a $8 a month subscription, on top of what I'm already paying. I called the sales rep again. I'm like, hi. Okay, first of all, where the hell am I supposed to go? I figured that this is something that was supposed to open. I am completely and utterly lost. Where's the robot? Where are we going? I get the feeling you're stuck. Don't ask me why. I'm gonna have to restart this, and I really get the feeling that he is just stuck. Anywho, call the sales rep again, and I tell them, right, so the website says I'm entitled to this HBO thing. I don't see it, though. Yeah, he was literally just stuck.
What name is that?
Oh yeah. It stands for
God, that is terrible. How old is this game again?
Alright. My old man Jacobs couldn't decide decide whether he wanted to call me Barry or Alex, so he ended up calling me Balix. I know it's not the coolest origin story.
Nah, I get it. I'm Mozetta Hayusinian Yonlun Alamir Andreevna. Call me Mose.
Damn.
Oh,
Oh, crap. Kill it.
well, is that my character's real name then? I did not know that. Interesting. Alright. So anyways, I call the sales rep guy again, and he goes, well, you have HBO Max as a part of our services, however you have to pay for it. At which point I give him a very confused look, although we were talking over the phone so he didn't get to see it, but I'm like, hold on, did I not understand something when we were negotiating for the contract itself? I mean, the fact that you have to negotiate everything with them and they don't really have a standard contract for you to get, and they don't really have a standard benefits program for long-standing users and anything like that. I mean, that's already a red flag and terrible. It's like you're haggling over everything. It's horrible. And I know people that's... I mean, I got like 10 months off my contract, 50% of the price, which is good. You know, when you average that out over the 2-year period that the contract is for, it's okay, right? It's not bad. But at the same time, I know people that got way better deals apparently, and I read about this later down the line. Apparently you just have to, you know, haggle enough and threaten them enough to go to their competition or whatever, which I did to some extent, but at the end of the day I couldn't afford to haggle for like months. It was like, you know, I need internet, and if I haggle for like 3 or 4 months and I continue paying the price outside of a contract, it's gonna all nullify itself anyway, like the discount that I'm gonna get, because outside of a contract the prices are insane. But whatever the case may be, moving on, right? I call them about the HBO thing, and I'm like, right, so I don't have the HBO thing installed. I don't have the HBO. I don't have access to the HBO thing. It's asking me for money. And they're right. What we mean when we stipulate in the contract that you will have the HBO thing is that you can have access to it if you pay for it. Yeah, you know what else I have access to? The freaking, I'm not going to swear yet because it's early on in the stream, HBO app itself on the HBO website that I can pay. I don't need you to mediate for me, right? I can just go and buy the freaking thing. What the hell's the point of you being so gracious to give me access to it? What the hell? I can just go I can just log in with my email and pay for it. Like, well, what the hell is this? And so for like 3 or 4 days, I'm stuck. I already paid for the channel. Sorry, I already paid the first month of the contract. I signed it. What can you do? I won't have HBO. Fine, whatever. I mean, you have like 20 streaming services nowadays anyway. I don't really need it that much, but I thought it would be a nice little benefit in addition to have with everything else, right? So I thought, yeah, you know what, fine. Turns out, on a completely unrelated note, when I visited the sales physical location, like their offices, because my uncle was looking to get optic fiber internet as well, and I went with him to see what sort of conditions they're going to offer him, and so on and so forth, and talked about it, yada 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 yada. I decided to ask them, well actually, this is what they offered him. They offered him HBO as well. And I'm like, right, but that means he won't have access to it. You're going to offer it to him, but not really, right? And they're like, no, we give you like free for the period of the contract, for 2 years, right? Like, yes, for 2 years. Right, but then when he goes to open it, you're going to ask him to pay for it. And they're like, no, it's in the contract. It's written down in the contract that for 2 years you get the thing. I'm like, yeah. In the contract that I signed, it said the same thing, or in the physical contract it doesn't, but on the website thing it does. And also on your website, when you go to open up your packages and stuff, when you go to your like offers, which are called box offers, is the name they give them, it also stipulates that one of the benefits that you have of signing a 2-year contract is that. Except I called you and you said no. I was like, that has to be a mistake. Let me check it. Alright, go and check it. I'm like, yeah, that was a mistake. We're definitely supposed to offer you that. Would you like it activated? Yeah, why would I not want it activated if it's free for 2 freaking years. Is there any sane person that would say no? Like, there's... Why would I not? And they're like, okay, so you won't have access to the HBO TV channels, but you will have access to all the videos on demand over our TV app. Alright, it's basically the same thing, right? Instead of having a channel which randomly plays some TV or TV show or movie or something for me, I get to pick the one I want. Even better. Right, that will be activated for you within like 10-15 minutes. I get home, switch over to the HBO thing, and pay $9 a month for the subscription. So at this point, there's 3 different types of information I have received about this one particular service. This is one of 3 services of theirs that I had a problem with. 3. I won't go into detail for all of them, but it's basically the same story, right? So I call the sales rep again. And I'm like, alright, here's what I did. I went to your offices at this spot, at this hour, here, and, you know, this is what I said, this is what they told me, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to activate the HBO app now. I'm trying to access it, or not the app, sorry, the channels on the TV, and it's telling me to buy it. Your sales representative in the offices said it will be activated within 10 minutes. That was 3 hours ago. Do I need to wait, or is this just not going to work? I get the feeling it's the latter. To which, for the 3rd time, or sorry, for the is it the 4th time now? I get a different set of instructions, which tells me, right, so according to your contract, you have this activated. All you need to do is type in the PIN.
Did you know the local jabbers have a unique
And I'm like, okay, listen, I can see that it's telling me to type in the PIN code. It is also telling me that I'm going to pay $9 every single month once I do so.
beautiful?
I am not here asking to purchase the thing. I'm not that stupid. I understand how to purchase it. I want for you to fulfill your frickin' end of the contract and give it to me for free for 2 years, which is what it stipulated. To which I then get the response, yeah, I know it says that you'll be charged for $9 a month, but you won't. At least not for the first 2 years. It's just the default UI that we haven't changed. It's not like, you know, user-specific. And it makes sense that the UI for it wouldn't be user-specific, but you know what also makes sense? Telling me this. Like, telling me this very important piece of information at any point during the last 30 days that I've had interactions with you. Instead, I got 4 different pieces of information that turned out to be, or 3, sorry, different pieces of information that turned out to be wrong, like every single one of them. First I was told it was automatic, then I was told I have to pay for it, then I was told, what was it, that they would activate it for me and I would just have to go home and, you know, watch it and that's it. And now you're telling me something else. So I'm like, alright, listen, I know this conversation is being recorded for quality improvement or whatever they call it. Listen, I want you to go on record now and tell me that this is going to be free for 2 years. If at any point this is no longer free, I don't want to pay for this subscription. They're like, yeah, no, we will notify you if there are any changes, but there will not be any changes for 2 years. I can guarantee you this. It will be free. Okay, you've gone on record for saying this. I will let you know that if this is wrong and you end up charging me, I will literally go to a court of law and I will, you know, legally fight you over fraud, because this is literally fraud, and the case will be over within like 10 minutes. Well, not literally, but it will be the easiest case of fraud ever fought in this country, because I have audio evidence of you telling me the opposite. I'm like, yeah, no, don't worry about it, go ahead, activate it, you will not be charged. I activate it, it works. Fine. Good. Excellent. Obstacle overcome. Thing is, I also have 2 other services that they offer that I should be getting for free. And I then had to go through the exact same process with them for the other 2 services. The other is another streaming platform that they have, which is, okay, that is one nasty whatchamacall it. And so anyways, that's what we end up doing for the other 2 services as well. In medias res once again. Good morning, Juggernaut. Good morning to you too, Rob. Well, that's how streams usually go, right? If you're not there at the very beginning, you always start in medias res, and basically nobody's there at the very, very beginning, even for people that have like 10,000 viewers per stream. You always start off with like a dozen or 100 or so it's how it goes. And so anyways, just to finish my train of thought there, I end up arguing with them over the other two services that are supposed to be free within my contract, and I do get them eventually, but the fact that I have to spend a month arguing with different sales representatives who don't know their job is infuriating for the largest ISP provider in the country. It feels like I'm in a bazaar arguing over the price of a t-shirt that I'm trying to buy. And this might not hit as home with, or be as relatable, I guess, to some of the more American or Western audiences, but in Eastern Europe especially, and in Asia Minor and stuff, bazaars like that are extremely common, and haggling is almost part of the culture, right? So you go and you're like, right, how much are these flip-flops? And he gives you a price of like $500, and then you negotiate them down to like $2. That's generally how the culture goes. Not everywhere, and it's sort of dying out, I would say. But that's what it feels like negotiating with my ISP. It's unprofessional. It's idiotic. It has no class, right? You're providing this service of internet. That is why you are an internet service provider. Act like it, right? You're not selling me flip-flops. Act like it. Have some class, have some dignity over your job. And most importantly, inform the people working in sales what they are actually selling. Because from my experience, 3 out of 4 of them have no idea what they're actually selling and what the services they're providing actually are. Like, come on, right? Like, I'm not asking for much, just tell people what they're actually able to provide. That is all. I ask for literally nothing else. And so the end of the saga is hopefully today afternoon, because they charged me for one very small thing that they weren't supposed to. And to be fair, I was warned that due to the way the system works, I might get automatically charged for it. Now, it is just like a $2 service fee that basically unlocks a couple of new channels on my TV, which I'm supposed to have for free. And they did tell me there is a chance that the first month you will get charged for these things. If you do, come to our service center or come to our sales center, tell us about it, and we will either refund you if you already paid it, or we will correct the amount that you need to pay. Now, for $2, it's almost not worth the hassle of actually going there and arguing with them again, but they will continue to charge me those $2 each year if I don't go, and so, you know, I might as well. Over the long term, it will save me a good bit of cash, so yeah, I'll go and wrap that up, I suppose. But yeah, there you go. That was it. Like, I now have HBO. I now have the other streaming service that they offer, all for free, as stipulated in my contract. After like a month of going back and forth of you don't have it, you have it, but you have to pay for it. You have it and it's activated automatically, and then eventually, no, you have to buy it, but we will refund you each month, which is effectively what they're doing, right? And then I did some investigative journalism, essentially. And I figured out why the system is the way it is. Essentially, because HBO is a third-party thing, they're not in a position, legally speaking, to give it to you for free, because someone needs to pay for that HBO thing, right? There's a license for it, there's an account that needs to get paid each month, and so, legally speaking, they're not allowed to give it to you for free. You have to, quote-unquote, pay for it, and then they just don't charge you for it. And they're the ones that pay. They comp it pay. Well, they don't comp it. They're the ones that pay. It's just that they have to charge you for it, right? And it's a whole weird legal thing, and I understand. I figured out that's the reason they're doing it. But I had to do like investigative journalism to figure that out, because nobody in that company could tell me why. It's freaking... It's an abomination. But it gets ever so slightly worse, because my uncle really appreciated the HBO TV thing with the channels and everything. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing he watches on TV, and he's like, if I have to get TV from them, I want those 4 channels that they offer, because I really don't care about anything else. TV here is dreadful. I mean, the programs and the government stuff and whatever, we hate everyone pretty much hates it, right? So if I'm gonna have to get TV, he wants that specific thing, and he doesn't want to pay for it because it's ludicrously expensive compared to the base cost of the contract, and he's supposed to have it. So when I was with him, he goes through the same deal, right? He's haggling with them over it, and he gets to the manager of sales for the whole region. And it's the same story where the manager tells him, so what we're going to offer you is video on demand, but you won't have the TV channels themselves that you can scroll through on your TV, right? The regional manager of sales tells him this. And it's wrong. Because the video on demand and the TV channels are inseparable. They're part of the same service which you get charged for, or rather which your ISP gets charged for. And I had to call a sales rep in Belgrade, in the capital, to get this information off him.
Insert action hero one-liner.
Could you please... How the hell am I supposed to... How am I supposed to kill you without shooting myself? You know, there you go. You deal with him. It's your problem now.
Confounded instruction manual! Why can't they write these damn things in cursive? It's barbaric what they've done to fonts these days, lopping off serifs like the heads of wise men.
It looks like you're having trouble installing me.
This is the single greatest enemy I've had the most problem with.
What is this crap? She gonna talk now?
Oh, you better give me some legendary items. I can see one on the floor.
Thank you kindly.
I can
Reflecting all my damage back at me. Rude.
over 200 different personalities. Is this better, cutie?
Well, why, yes. Yes, it is. Don't tell Maggie about this, will you, darling?
Oh, I like that. It reminds me of the whole lob thing that that we had in the previous stream. Except I wasn't really the biggest fan of that, but this is good. This is good. Question, though. It says it'll do 800 damage. Will it do that as the orb, or will it do that as the regular bullet, and what's the difference? Because if it won't do 800 damage with a regular bullet, I'm not overly thrilled about this sniper rifle, but we will see. We're going to test it out. Sports packages are even more complex. Partnerships change frequently. Divisions are dropped. Signed by national stadiums requiring one to pick up another subscription, and so on and so forth. You mean for TV, like channels and stuff, or streaming services? Or both? Is it the same thing? Like, licenses change hands and stuff, and so you end up not having certain channels or whatever?
Ammo. Without it, you're just a schmuck with a paperweight.
Streaming, yeah, both. I can imagine, although locally speaking at least, I don't think we had a problem with that until recently. Recently there was a big acquisition where the biggest ISP in the country purchased a whole bunch of stuff, and so they didn't renew the licenses for some things, they did for some other things, and there was a massive change in what's available in terms of, generally in terms of channels, but in terms of sports channels as well, and a couple of sports channels got shut down, but outside of this latest merger, which happened like 2-3 months ago, I want to say, something like that, 4 maybe-ish, I'm not exactly sure. Outside of that, it's been really consistent here. We haven't had like anything major shut down or whatever. In fact, I mean, it's kind of hilarious, but the biggest changes I've seen in terms of sporting events are in esports. Esports channels, I mean, esports organizations and tournament organizers are, there's a whole different, there's a lot of different ones, right? And so your broadcasting or your streaming service or whatever has the license for one, but doesn't have the license for the other, for example. How much damage am I doing? It is doing a lot of damage, okay. And so anyways, that's what would happen. You would get, like, you would see one part of the tournament, and you would see one tournament, and then the next tournament for the same game where the same teams are competing, you wouldn't get to see it. Specifically, it was a problem for CS majors, Counter-Strike. Because well, not every major, but a lot of the majors are organized by different, well, organizations, as clumsy as that sentence is. And so, the recent one was organized by StarLadder, actually it's still going. This one's organized by StarLadder, and the local esports casting organization, TV channel, group, whatever, has the license to stream it. The previous one, the license was bought by their rivals, and they're only allowed one, so it was an exclusive for the region. And so one stream you would have, for one set of channels, the other you would have for a different set of channels, and you can't watch both. Because one belongs to one ISP, the other belongs to the other ISP. Obviously, the solution is just go on Twitch and watch it, right? Like it's a really obvious thing. Or go on YouTube. They also stream on YouTube, like both of the TV stations as well. But still, like that's the only situation where we had like sports signings and licenses and stuff change in recent years, and it's been an ongoing problem. And I think the bigger organization absorbed the other one now, and we should have like both of the licenses now, and most of the esports events should be streamed on. Currently, most of the ISPs. So yeah, that's what happened. Where am I supposed to go now? Return to Sanctuary. Yeah, I thought so. Just wanted to make sure. Right, there we go. I haven't really paid that much attention to the dialogue here. I know there's... I remember from the last time I played the game, there was a couple of funny bits here that I may have missed out, but...
Storming our brains on ways to combat the Calypsos.
Ah.
Oh, nah, I know that evil laugh anywhere.
Right.
It's all up in your ship.
Hey, cutie idiots. I like your ship. Not as well armed as the family jewel, but I think I'll fit right in here once I make some modifications. Oh, onboard service bots, please take apart the crew.
What the hell?
I knew it.
Locked in here. Get to the bridge and fix this.
I knew it.
What's going on? Are we under attack?
It's the AI. Never trust it. Never trust the AI. I knew this would happen. That's why I don't trust my own chatbots in the stream, let alone anything else.
I'm going to fly you, the key fragment, and your whole ship to Aurelia. And once she rewards me with a dreadnought, I'll travel from system to system, burning every inhabited planet I find. I've always wanted to take a vacation.
Oh, crap. We're in an asteroid field. Vault Hunter, she's got her claws in your computer system. You can't hurt her from here. I gotta
That
get her
was
myself.
a bit too close.
Lock me in.
I do go to YouTube now if it isn't live rebroadcast and not too far behind. Yeah, it is. It is just more convenient, honestly. Oh god, right, we better hurry up. There's another hole in our windscreen, and yes, I know it's technically not a windscreen, but it's what it looks like. I mean, here's the thing, right? I think...
No!
It's part of the main storyline, so I'm gonna shut up and let people listen to this for a bit.
Pick her up, Vault Hunter.
Okay, there we go. Good. So, here's the thing. Like, I think back in the day when internet wasn't as widely available, and not just the internet, but generally streaming services, and not everything was available on either Twitch or YouTube or Kick or whatever, right? The program scheme for a TV station used to be a lot more curated, and it used to be a lot more culturally important, right? Because the job of someone that was the manager of the program and that would decide what TV show, what movie, what, whatever would go out on TV, it was a very responsible job, and it had a function, right? And that function wasn't just to entertain the viewing audience, at least for some of the channels. It was also a cultural thing. It was supposed to be a little bit educational as well. Like, I'll give you an example. The main 2 national broadcast channels are RTS 1 and 2. That's what they're called here. Radio Television Serbia. That's what the abbreviation stands for. RTS 1 and 2 used to have a very complex program in that occasionally they will give you like very artsy movies and very like some, you know, French Art Nouveau style movie that nobody's ever heard of but probably won some awards at some prestigious festivals but isn't ever going to be in like the top charts on IMDb or whatever. And they would play that, and for the majority of the people, you would never find that movie on your own, right? You wouldn't look something up, look up something like that. A lot of people wouldn't even know where to begin looking for something like that, right? And so, TV channels would sort of introduce you to this style of content. They would introduce you to new music, for example, as well. Groups or genres or stuff that you've never heard of before. You could flip through the TV channels and you'd be like, huh, that's interesting. And you'd listen to some of that. And there was a particular, like, I don't want to call it a show, but there was a particular, like, program that they organized up until, I don't know, like a dozen years or so, maybe. It was called The 3 Colors of Sound, where they would promote indie artists and, like, give you a different genre every weekend or whatever, and something that's new and interesting to listen to. Like, this was... How do I put this? This was important to an extent, right? Culturally, it would expose you to new things that you wouldn't necessarily find elsewhere, especially, like I said, back in the day where... not everyone had internet, and not everything was online, and so on and so forth. So this was important, right? But TV lost that, right? In the age of everything being online, everything being on YouTube, the streaming services and everything, it lost that quality of curation, if you will. And so, after losing that, it became pretty pointless, right? Because why would I wait for any TV channel to play a movie that I can just go and either watch at the cinema or download, if you want to talk about piracy, but I can't publicly, not really. You know, or get via alternative means like streaming services or whatever. It became pretty pointless, and it is definitely a dying medium, and I'm not saying anything controversial like that. I think it's been the prevailing opinion for like the last 5 or 6 years. I don't think it'll ever truly shut down. I think it'll survive in some form or another, but it is pretty, like, you know, it's losing in value, I suppose, with each passing day and everything. Although I will say, for sports commentary and you know, broadcasts and stuff like that, it is, the format is still pretty good, even though you can watch it online, but yeah.
Again. Thanks, Killer.
Hey, that was all me. I mean, I know that you can thank me, though, but yeah, it was all me. I'm gonna stick around. The ship is tight.
So Sanctuary has a voice now. Sure, why not? I can roll with it. Oh, I heard from Clay. He's got a lead on the next fragment. Go meet up with him.
Listen, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I prefer Claptrap as the voice of Sanctuary over whatever the hell that teddy bear is. There, I said it. I said it. I know what I'm getting myself into. US Regional PB is still okay with the arts and culture programming. National PB is way political these days. Yeah, I would assume so. I would assume so, that it's always the regional stuff that's, I guess it's under less pressure, technically, maybe. Like, I'm not sure, I'm just guessing here, but I would assume that it's under less pressure to put out more political stuff and to have their program sort of more tailored towards the interests of one group or another, and so they're allowed a little bit more freedom and a little bit more wiggle room. And so that they'll always sort of lean on that side, and there's also more room for sort of passion projects, I suppose. Someone really likes something, they can broadcast that, and so yeah, I would assume that's the case. But Okay, did I miss anything? I did not miss a single drop. Look at that. That's the one and true only real loot goblin right here. Look at that. Not a single drop missed. Okay, Floodmore Basin. Where are we going? I'm assuming to the manor, right? It would make sense. Or at least somewhere near it, maybe?
Do you and I have business, or is this just a how the hell are you doing?
No, I need to talk to Clay. Clay is not here. I thought Clay was here. Where is Clay, out of curiosity? I hate that I need to load in for it to show me. Yeah, okay, he's at the other place. That's fine.
Rogues, come in. Do you copy?
Hello?
Where do you bastards run off to? Smooth operator. Glad you're here, because I could use a hand.
Smooth
I used to run a
operator.
smuggling crew called the Rogues. Well, I called them in to find the key fragment, and they did.
Oh, speaking of, the music of Borderlands 3 is copyrighted. Yeah, don't ask me how I figured out. Remember that stream from, was it 2 episodes ago, something like that? I really liked the music while we were driving down the road to get to the Calypso Twin broadcast, not the broadcast center, but the other, their base on the previous planet that we were on. Yeah, that got taken down. So, it's all fair use be damned, right? Right, shoot rogue site marks.
I hit some loot nearby. Go on, give the rogue site a whirl. Just look through the scope.
What are those? At the risk of sounding a little bit too, Is it this? It is definitely not that. It's somewhere down here. Oh! Guess part of the challenge is finding said site marks as well. Honestly, it looks more like a box, so... but fine.
Need your help. See, we're victims of our own success. Remember that vid where Troy super murdered your siren friend? Well, how do we top it?
I don't know. Do we kill some orphans, or kill some puppies, or cram a bunch of puppies in an orphanage and burn it to the ground? It's a dilemma. What's gonna keep the offerings flowing? Oh, Ty, maybe we'll let our followers decide.
A murder poll! Love it! Gotta run, superfan. The Great Vault beckons. We'll be gods soon, bitches.
Laters.
Colourful characters. Both literally and, you know, personality-wise. Very colourful. I'm not gonna lie, that sort of left me a bit. It sort of left me at a loss for words. How do you follow up on something like that? What do you talk about after a dilemma of whether murdering orphans or puppies is the next best thing for their commercial success in the land of raiders and psychopaths? Nah.
Racking him up.
Alright, there's our third box, and the sniper rifle is god-awful. It's a problem, we're now over-leveled for everything. We're getting level 24 drops instead of 31. Yeah. Although, I made an even worse mistake the last time I played this, which was, to be fair, a while ago. I think I ended up returning, that's my alarm, sorry. I think I ended up returning to like some of the previous planets and stuff to do the quests, and I ended up killing a lot more stuff than I should have. I was an even higher level, and so I was over-leveled for like the majority of the time until I don't think I finished this planet in its entirety. I think I got to the previous bit in Sanctuary. I think everything from here on out is completely a mystery to me.
Secret entrance in. Use the rogue site to find it.
Shoot rogue site markers again. You see, they used to be boxes, now...
Keep shooting those marks, Vault Hunter.
Okay. So there's one. I get the feeling I can... No. I thought I could maybe, like, go in there and find one. Do I just keep shooting the same one? No, nope, definitely not. Am I just utterly and completely blind, or is this a little bit more difficult than I thought? Is it these things? They look like bullseyes. Okay, let's focus, because I keep glancing over at chat and like I keep like looking left, right. Let's see. Shoot rogue site marks. 3. This was definitely one. Looks like a bullseye. Fair enough. Where's the rest of them? That is going to be on one of those things. It's not in there. Definitely not that. I don't even know why I tried that. What the? No, that's an invisible wall.
Alright. Next stop, the Amber Mire.
Excuse me? Okay, I'll take it. I really want to go back and watch.
Welcome to the Amber Mire. Back in the day.
No, I still don't see it. I went back on the stream and rewound it to try and see what the hell I shot. I have no clue.
We need to make contact with my crew leader, Archimedes. He'll sort this all out.
Okay, no, I'm still fairly speechless, not gonna lie.
I used to run smuggling ops against all the corporations. A while back, we tried to steal some firearms.
Is it the pistol?
Montgomery Jacob.
I get it now. I get it now. It's the pistol, isn't it? You look through the scope and it'll highlight the stuff for you, won't it?
I've been working for the Jacobs Corporation ever since.
Yeah, that's exactly what was supposed to happen. In reality, I'm so good at this game, I don't even need the scope. I just throw a grenade that's stuck to an invisible wall and progress achieved. You know what? You know what? I am willing to take a bet here. If we pull up, like, I don't want to go overboard, but let's say we pull up 20 Let's Plays or playthroughs or live streams of Borderlands 2. I am willing to bet none of those solve that puzzle like I did. I am willing to bet. Like, I will put good money on that. Pull up 20 random Let's Plays. I bet you, you know, not too much money, but say like I put like $50 on that. I will bet you $50 nobody solved the puzzle like that. I am just. It takes a special kind of stupid and lucky to.
Guess they couldn't hack it.
Maybe in a speedrun. Maybe that's faster in a speedrun, although grenades take some time to explode, so probably not. But maybe in a speedrun. It doesn't count if they know where it is, right? We're talking about first-time blind Let's Plays. I am ready to put money down. Nobody figured out that's the way you can do it.
Anybody
Oh, man. Yeah, right. Anyways, got second topic of conversation for the, you know, downtime of shooting. That is brutal. That is brutal. I understand I did a lot of damage. I understand this is a legendary weapon, but nothing but his legs remained. That is a bit much, even for Borderlands. That's a bit much. Anywho, another topic of conversation, something more gaming related, is Arma 3 is currently on sale for $7 or $8, something like that. And I played Arma 2. I have dipped my toes, so to speak, in milsim games. But there was one particular milsim group for Arma that I found a couple of days ago, and I thought, maybe it would be fun to do some videos, or at least just play with them, because they seem like a really serious group in that there's not a lot of joking around. It's a very serious milsim sort of thing, and I thought, you know, the problem is, like, Arma's very expensive with all the DLCs and stuff. And so I was watching one of their streams last night, and turns out they don't use any of the DLCs. All you need is the base game, which is like $7 right now, and you can play with any operation that they host. The only condition is that you download all the mods that they make. And so you have this group of people. It's called what's it called again? I should know because I applied. Give me a second. I applied to join them. Which is kind of what I want to talk about, because it felt like applying to the military, like the actual military. And I appreciate the attention to detail and everything, but it is very fun. Oh, it has the most creative name ever. It's called Arma Serbia. Lovely. There you go. Yeah, it is local. However, they do have cooperations and stuff with Arma groups from the rest of Europe. So they did missions with milsim groups from Greece, Poland, Romania, Hungary, Russia, Ukraine, and I don't see anyone else here on the list. Those are the countries that they did cooperations with, like different milsim groups from those countries. They mostly do PvE, which I was immediately sold on, because Arma PvP tends to be a little bit. There's people that play it a lot, and that'll show. And if you're trying to do like military roleplay and stuff, some of the skill bleeding through turns it into more like a proper FPS shooter rather than you know, trying to roleplay as the army trying to do something. So yeah, they mostly do PvP, or they only do PvE. And I'm a big fan of that, and they did all sorts of operations, and they have one or two guys in the group that stream it. And so I come across them. First of all, the military chatter is phenomenal, because they're all in character all the time. And yeah, sure, the occasional joke will get thrown, but it's still sort of period-specific always, which I really like. So they did, like, one of the streams that I watched that's... I'm kind of hesitant to talk about this on YouTube, because YouTube's a bit sensitive when it comes to discussing anything conflict-related, even if it's just a video game, but they did the breakup of Yugoslavia and some of the wars in the 90s and stuff. And they did a variety of conflicts, a variety of scenarios, some hypothetical, some real ones, etc., etc. And I watched one last night, and the guys are really good. Like, This has auto aim as well. Like they could not have made the quest easier with this gun. Just saying. At any rate, it's really cool because they have proper call signs, like proper military call signs and everything, and it's such a fun group. I mean, it sounds like such a fun group. And on top of that, they do custom assets for most of their missions. So they have a group of modders that will create, like, the weaponry, the uniforms, the scenarios and everything each week for something. They play, I think, on a weekly basis. And, I mean, that sounds awesome. It sounds like a lot of dedication for what is ultimately just LARPing. But I was like, you know what? I want to give this a shot. I used to play... This was, I think, I don't know if I did YouTube back at that time or not. I don't think so. I think I did, like, one video every few months or something at the time. I didn't do, like, Let's Play series or anything like that at the time. I think I took, either I took a break or I never started doing YouTube at that point. But back in the day, I used to play PlanetSide with a large organization that's not really milsim because it's PlanetSide, but it was a pretty serious organization in that we had a command structure, you had to follow orders, the rules were pretty strict and everything, and we were called the 3rd Terran Templar Air, TTTA. What happened to the 1st and 2nd is a mystery to me to this day, because I don't think there was a 1st and 2nd. I think someone just decided that they really liked the 3 T's at the beginning of our abbreviation, so they called us the 3rd Terran Templar Air. And it, to be fair, it does sound pretty cool, and whenever you're not the 1st Division or the 1st Battalion of something, you sound a little bit more serious automatically, right? And so anyways, I play with those guys, and it was some of the most fun I've had in a multiplayer game ever. Because once you get to that level of organization, and that level of logistics, and that level of, not necessarily even role-playing, just that level of coordination between different large groups of infantry, mechanized forces, air forces, etc., and the whole idea behind the organization is we were supposed to be paratroopers. So we didn't have that many members, but we did have a fair few members later down the line, and so we couldn't all be paratroopers, so we had to sort of diversify a little bit with tanks and supplies and logistics and so on and so forth. But our specialty were airdrops from... are they called Liberators? I think they're called Liberators in PlanetSide, right? If I remember correctly. It's basically like a huge cargo ship that you jump out of, and it provides both supply and it acts as a troop transport. It's ginormous, though. Has a lot of HP, but it's the easiest thing to hit. You can hit it from, like, the other side of the map. Anyways, we would drop from those things with jet troopers as jet troopers, and we would storm enemy positions. Like, the idea was just to decap an enemy position to stop enemy reinforcements from getting there. And it was some of the most fun I've had in a video game, in a multiplayer video game, maybe ever. Like, it was really, really good. And so I thought, you know what, I have some time now, especially from December onwards. I don't have a lot of work to do. I can dedicate, like, a day a week or 2 days a week or something like that. And besides those operations that they do don't happen that often, I'm probably going to have time to participate in most of them. I can try out and see how it goes. So I go to the application forum, and I swear to God I would have had an easier time joining the actual armed forces of a Balkan country. Because, first and foremost, you agree to the rules and everything. Fine, fair enough. Terms and conditions for your membership. You have a minimum amount of hours you need to serve on the front lines. A minimum amount of hours that you need to be a soldier on the front lines per week and per month. Oh, sorry, per 2 weeks and per month. Okay, am I getting paid for this? Because, like... What the hell? On the other hand, I do understand why. It takes training, it takes practice. You need to learn certain things, like how the command structure works, how to move, how to play within the group and everything. And so I understand that you can't just join up and then 3 months later be like, hey, I want to play with you guys, and you have no idea what's going on. So I understand the reasoning behind it, but... Yeah, anyways, I've watched some tournaments with a commentator in spectator mode, and I'm blown away at the scale and tactics. It's like a real-world engagement, not really, but you know how it feels. Yeah, exactly. And the comms for me is what got me. especially like the call signs and everything. And so I'm like, all right, I'll accept this. And then you go through the rule book and everything. You need to read it carefully, and then they start asking you questions. There's an interview process. Usually, for groups like this, the interview process is just there to determine whether you are sane or not. You'd be surprised how many silly people, I will say, try to join groups like this. Now, they just want to make sure that you're serious and that you're a functioning adult, right? Not this interview. No. You sign up, you do all the things, and then you pledge, how many hours a week you're able to spend within the group, what your role is going to be, and then you solemnly swear to follow orders and not complain about the roles you are given. Because you're in the army now, son, and there is no complaining. Okay, that's cool. Fair enough. You're gonna get in the army, you're gonna get tasks that you don't want to do. Like, you can't be a sniper every single game. Sometimes you're gonna have to do logistics. Sometimes you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to be a storm detachment. You're gonna have to be a tanker, infantry, a medic, whatever. You're gonna have to do some of those things. Fair enough. That's part one. That's to let you into the Discord group. From there, you go on to boot camp. Boot camp is organized once per week by the senior members of the group and the officers and stuff like that. And you log on to a server and they show you the ropes of armor. It doesn't matter whether you played like 5,000 hours of armor up until that point. You have to go through boot camp. The purpose is, once again, to sort of filter people out, make sure you can follow orders, etc., etc., make sure you have your setup and everything. They use TeamSpeak and a special mod in TeamSpeak, which somehow ties into the game itself and reads the location of the players relative to each other, and then get this. It also addresses, it also takes into consideration the terrain. And so, if you are behind a hill in the game, TeamSpeak will filter in such a way that your messages barely get across to the other side of the hill because there's terrain in the way. On the other side of things, if you go atop that hill and you try and contact people, your messages will get through a lot more cleanly and a lot more neatly because you're at the top and you have a better radio connection with everyone. This is especially true for the military operations they do that are like wars in the 90s or World War II or stuff like that. And they do all sorts of time periods, like from World War II to like near future conflicts, with different mods, obviously. I was fascinated by this. Like, the fact that this mod exists and that it's so well integrated into armor, I was blown away by it. Okay, and so there's boot camp training. And the next boot camp is in 2 days, and I can't attend, unfortunately, because I'm not going to be home. I think tomorrow I leave for a different town. There's going to be a bit like the university meeting thing where we're going to discuss the future of our jobs and stuff like that, and I'm going to be away for like 2 days, I think, something along those lines. So I won't be able to attend that boot camp, but I will probably the next one. And I'm a bit scared, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm almost 30 now, and I didn't really expect to be anxious for an online multiplayer game session, but I expect to get yelled at by a drill sergeant over in boot camp, and, you know what? A part of me welcomes the experience, because, supposedly, starting next year, military recruitment military conscription is going to be mandatory in the country, and so there is not a large, but there is a chance that I'm going to get conscripted. Generally, I think they'll look for younger folks, and God, I feel old now that I said that. Ugh, I'm not even 30 yet. Anyways, generally they'll look for like people ages 18 to like 21, 2, 3, I think, and it's going to be a very low number of conscripts per year because it costs a lot of money to conscript people. So chances are I won't have to serve if I don't want to. And given the political situation in the country, I have no intention of serving unless it is forced upon me and it becomes mandatory. If it does, then, you know, it is what it is. Although the contract term is like, I think, less than 2 months or 2 months or something like that. It's laughable, right? Like, what sort of training can you get in 2 months? That's like, come on. But at any rate, I welcome the experience because I'm gonna, if push comes to shove and I have to enroll in the military, I will, you know, I'll be set. I'll know how the command structure works. Because that's one of the things I'm really, really fascinated by. I think it's clearly run by guys that were in the actual military. You can tell by the details. Where are you? Like, where do I live? I'm in Serbia, in, like, the central part of it. Or would you mean where I'm going? I'm not moving anywhere. I'm just leaving town for a couple of days to a nearby town for the meeting thing. But anyways, so it's clearly run by people that either have experience now or had experience in the 90s with the military, and it's freaking awesome. Like just the level of immersion and detail and everything is truly impressive. And as the coolest part, you get to pick a call sign at the beginning of your sort of enlistment, where you don't actually physically sign anything because it's a Discord server, but you do like click accept and you click the check mark and everything. And one of the first things that you do is you pick a call sign. And there are rules about call signs. They can't be anything silly, obviously, and they have to be clearly legible and not confusing so as to be heard in wartime and while bullets are whizzing past. So, for example, if you have a particularly long name, and I apologize for using the example, but your call sign can't be Rob Campbell 2164, right? I'm sorry for using the example because it's right in front of me. It's hard to resist, right? Your call sign also can't be Juggernaut YT or something like that. It's way too long. By the time your commanding officer says, you know, your first name, last name, and then a bunch of numbers behind it, or, you know, whatever convoluted username you came up with symbols, uppercases, lower cases, and numbers or whatever, you're probably already dead, or the task that he needed you to do is already done, or it's too late to do it. So it needs to be brief, it needs to be simple, and it needs to be somewhat memorable and personal to you. So, do you know what that reminds me of? Every military call sign ever in any Eastern European country. That's how our call signs work, right? So, for example, your nickname would be related to, if you come from like a small village, it would be related to the village that you're from within the company, or within the squad or whatever.
But we were just getting started.
My wife's family immigrated from Yugoslavia. Really? Oh! Oh, that is, well, I mean, a part of me wants to say that's pretty awesome, because, you know, we're sort of, countrymen in a sense, but given that I have an inclination as to why they immigrated, I hesitate to say that, but you know what I mean. Like, that's cool. That's cool. Not that they had to immigrate, but you get what I'm trying. You get where I'm going with this, anyways. But yeah, like the whole thing is pretty awesome. So I came up with a cool call sign. It took some effort. I sat there and I was thinking about it, and it got me thinking, like, hold on, if I enroll in if I get conscripted into the military, it's going to be the same deal, right? I'm gonna need a call sign for when you go on combat patrols, because the idea is, well, shite.
With arms outstretched, Hyperion. Wow, you actually did it! You are a total gun slut. And we just added a cool 100,000 followers.
Listen,
my work here's done. Thanks, Wolfie.
I had to know.
I could count on you.
You can't blame me. I had to know. It's the same thing in Borderlands 2 when Handsome Jack offers you to just off yourself, right? Gives you a gun as a reward. Had to do it. Had to do it. Anyways, so I came up with a really cool call sign, and the call sign is Yug, J-U-G. One, it's the abbreviation for the YouTube channel, so makes sense. On the other hand, it means south. Like literally, it means the cardinal direction, south. Also, just literally just means south. coincidentally, I was born in the southernmost part of the country. Like, the southernmost town in the country. That's where I was born from. That's where I was born, way back when. And so I've incorporated all three things into one call sign that's 3 letters. Not gonna lie, it took a little bit of thinking, and I'm proud of it. There is genius in its simplicity, right? A 3-letter thing, but it incorporates everything. Especially because it's an armor group, right? So chances are I might record some of it for YouTube, and so I don't want to have my username be like whatever, Skiff or Rogue or whatever, and although it would have to be like more Slavic sounding, but you know, I don't want something completely random. And so it has everything. It reflects every single part of both the YouTube channel and all my life and everything, and I am bloody impressed with myself that I came up with that. I think that's pretty genius. Although it does feel kind of silly to say that for like a nickname that contains 3 letters, but like I said, simplicity. Simplicity sometimes is the most complicated thing to come up with, so there you go. I went the complete wrong way, didn't I? Well, not really. It's down there and then left. I also need to do the Crimson Radio thing, so let's go set a waypoint. But before I do, I'm just going to go... I'm not even going to go to the... Well, yeah, I'm going to go to the standby screen for just 2 minutes. Skrivintich. Skrivintich. Skri is a very uncommon group of letters, shall we say, for a last name in Yugoslavia, maybe, sure, but anyways. Family, worked in civil engineering, building bridges and highways, migrated during the 30s, during FDR's presidency. Oh, they migrated during the 30s. Oh, well, okay, good. That is... They picked the correct time to migrate. Holy hell. Dodged a literal bullet. I'm assuming it's Skrivitic, because Skri is pretty uncommon, even in the 30s. For like anyone, it doesn't matter if they're in Serbia, Slovenia, Croatia, whatever, it's yeah. Well, maybe it just got, like, transliterated into S over time from the 30s or something. But, yeah, that is awesome. I thought it was, like, it sounded like it was during the 90s, and I was like, yeah, that's a iffy period, right? But no, they dodged World War II, right? And the whole genocide and chaos in Yugoslavia, that dodged a literal bullet there. Alright, awesome. Anyways, just gonna go grab myself a cup of water, and I need to take my medication, so I will be back in, like, 30 seconds. Literally, in, like, well, maybe a minute. There we go. Oh, I'll tell you what, I can turn that on as well. The 90s were bad too with Bosnia and all. Absolutely, man. That's what I was getting at. Not just with Bosnia, but like elsewhere as well. I mean, that's the most talked about and probably the most covered and explicit situation, but it was pretty bad across the country. I remember one of the most heartbreaking videos I saw was from that period was actually in Slovenia, believe it or not, which seceded the most peacefully, shockingly enough, right? Because there wasn't really a civil war there, there wasn't really much in the way of conflict. They just seceded from the country, and it was pretty much just accepted, and that's it. They didn't really have any trouble. But at the same time, it's home to one of the most heartbreaking war crimes that you can see on YouTube, and I think it was on YouTube for the longest time. For some reason, you didn't really take it down at any point, despite it being pretty obvious. So during the secession, what happens is there's a group of soldiers, and I say soldiers, these are all 18 to 17-year-old kids, and one commanding officer that was like 22 or 25 or something like that. Kids, like literally kids. And the most heartbreaking thing is that they, in that particular garrison, they had people from all nationalities in the Balkans, pretty much. So there were people from Slovenia, from Croatia, from Serbia, like, all kids from every single part of the country, including Slovenian kids. And so Slovenia succeeds, and they're left behind quote-unquote enemy lines, despite the fact that it's not really a war with Slovenia. They're left behind, the command structure and everything abandons them, and so they decide to surrender to the Slovenian authorities. Or the new Slovenian authorities, which at that point is basically just the police, because, again, it wasn't an armed conflict, they didn't have much of a military, they seized some of the military equipment that was left there by the army of Yugoslavia, but it wasn't like an armed conflict. And so they just come out of there, the police surround the barracks, and they leave their weapons inside the buildings, and they come out with their hands up, and they're completely unarmed, and you see that it's a collection of, like, a dozen or so of just terrified children, like ages 17, like some of them underage, you know, literally. And so the Slovenian police just guns them down, despite the fact that they are completely unarmed, in uniform, just surrendering, and they just get gunned down. And to this day, I don't think anyone was prosecuted for that. And it was just, it was the beginning as well, like that's why it was so disturbing, because it was the first, Slovenia was the first to go, and it sort of set the tone for everything. They just gunned them down, man. Like, they surrendered, they come out into the open, they wait for them to come out into the open, and they're like, alright, like, here we are, you know, like, just want us to get on the ground or whatever, and there they are talking with the police officers, and at one point, for no reason, somebody just opens fire and then everyone else follows, and they just gun down these kids. It's not like any of them tried to run or anything, you can literally see them just standing in the middle of the open, and then just frozen there, and then just shots start ringing out, and some of them get on the ground, some of them don't, some of them don't even have time to react, and that's it, and that's how the whole thing started. It was horrible. And then it only got worse from there, like, far from that being the worst thing that happened. There was a lot more people, there were civilians, they got shot down, obviously, etc., etc. Agent Double D7. Oh god, that is... Oh god, my family was so hurt with Slobodan, I don't know much, but they felt so betrayed. Yeah, I mean, he was deposed pretty much... Well, he wasn't killed, but he was deposed more or less a lot like Ceausescu was in Romania. Like a tyrant against his own people, and... I mean, generally the whole group of politicians in the 90s that orchestrated the breakup of Yugoslavia was... The worst thing is they knew each other personally, and they weren't enemies personally. And so it was very easy for them to just come to a table and negotiate it out and, you know, solve the entire crisis without a shot being fired. But instead someone decided that it was a lot more profitable if they did have to fight it out, despite not fighting personally each other, you know, not personally being enemies. They hung out as friends, basically, and this is what we learned, like 20 years after the fact. is that they had great relationships between each other, both the Muslim, the Croatian, and the Serbian politicians at the time and leaders at the time. That between themselves they were all buddies, and they tore the country apart with like war crimes and everything, and it is sickening. And so yeah, I think nobody felt happy with how that ended and how that went down, except for maybe the Croatians, because they have a whole nation-building moment there. But that's more of a political thing, which I'd rather not get into because it's a bit too fresh and, you know, not something for YouTube, or really for this channel. This is a gaming channel. It's not my place to... Well, maybe not... Nah, it's not the place to discuss that, but... Like, generally speaking, it's just freaking nasty.
Hey, hope you're hearing this. I think one of the rogues turned COV.
As far as I'm personally concerned, the war in the 90s didn't really affect my family too much. Well, the first two, I mean. Yeah, there were multiple. People usually think of it as one sort of continuous conflict. It wasn't. And so we were in like the southernmost part of Serbia, so it didn't really affect us. None of our family members were drafted into the army at that point. My grandfather served back in Tito's Yugoslavia, so he was in the JNA, but, you know, before the whole Civil War before the whole Civil War and the breakup and everything. And my father and uncle were, I think they were in the army later. So yeah, they sort of missed out on that whole bit, but they did serve in the army during the Kosovo War in the 90s, which was around the time that I was born. Well, I was born slightly before it, but yeah. And that's an entirely different conflict, but in many ways a continuation of the same problems. But yeah, I mean, I lost a lot of family in sort of the last of the Yugoslav conflicts, and I totally feel with everyone that experienced the same with both in Bosnia or pretty much anywhere else. Up there? Yep, up here. There we go. Oh, and we get a cool box. Well, I mean, I appreciate the fact that we're being honest and we're calling it Crimson propaganda. Thought we would be a little bit more diplomatic about it and say, you know, we're spreading the truth or whatever, and they're lying to the people or whatever. But no, it's just we're both doing propaganda. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sold out the rogues, Clay. See, I infiltrated an offshoot of the Reekwater gang called the Mudnicks. Turns out Aurelia Hammerlock offered one of the rogues the Eden 7 system in exchange for a key fragment. Don't know who yet. If you don't hear from me, buddy, then assume the worst. I'm either dead or captured. But come find me anyway. I'd do it for you. Quietfoot's a crazy bastard. We go way back. You gotta find him, Vault Hunter.
Yeah, more like find his body, right? I know how these quests go in Borderlands. Of course, good gaming channel. I don't pay much attention to those things back then, but I just remember the family impact and open up a worldview for me. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a lot different, and I think it goes for any conflict anywhere, pretty much. It's a lot different when you... popping balloons still gives money in Borderlands 3 as well. That's cool. I think for a lot of people, once you know someone personally that's affected by something like that, it changes sort of your view of... either a conflict or the world itself or whatever. It's
Smart that, Jacobs. Unless you're a turd thief.
yeah, it's always different when it becomes personal and when it's not just in the news and stuff like that. You know, I totally get that.
Another one down.
I really like this gun. It's a shame it's a rifle. Like, give me this same gun without the scope and make it a shotgun, and it is really lovely, but as things stand, I have, like, nothing but shotguns, pretty much. That pistol is a shotgun, this rifle is a shotgun. The only thing I have that's not a shotgun is the actual, technically, shotgun weapon in the game. And I sold that one, because the whole bullet traveling time, it takes 3 days to deliver. It's like Postal Express. It's the slowest firing projectile that I've seen in any video game thus far. Probably use the sniper rifle a little bit more now, I guess, out here in the open, and not just use it against boss fights. Or in boss fights, rather. Okay, yep, this way, and then we go around the thing, right? Controversial opinion, I think this part of the map is a little bit unnecessarily large. No reason to make it this big. I can climb up here, good. Looked like it. I want to check if this works up time. Hey, look at that. Streaming for 1 hour and 54 minutes exactly. That is correct as well. Good, good. The bots are working finally. We have some bot commands. Fairly humble to begin with. I've got the 8-ball, I've got uptime, and I've got like some of the basic stuff. I also think you can type in @ commands, and then it'll show what commands are available in the live chat. And they only work when the channel is live, because, well, obvious reasons, I believe. But yeah, I got that to work between last stream and now. I mean, technically it was working last stream as well, but I tweaked some things as well in the meantime. Okay, underrated sniper rifle, I would say. The whole lob thing looks a little bit ridiculous, but hitting headshots with this... Okay, the only problem is the rate of fire is not the best. It's a little bit slow, but it's not too bad. The SMG sucks, man. The SMG is so terrible. It's not even worth having anymore. I mean, I understand it's level 26, but... Okay, we switch to this pistol maybe, and... Okay, this one's a bit weird. Still a legendary, but...
Mega bitch!
I don't know, I'm not sold on it. Oh, that is good. That is good. Hitboxes, come on.
damn it! How the traitor's gonna pay? Look around where Quietfoot used to be. His ID should still be there. Those things are indestructible. Wish I could say the same for my crew.
And this is all that remains of Quietfoot.
All right.
Tragic.
We just need one more ID. Well, time to head to the docks and find my buddy Domino. Best sharpshooter in the Edens and polite as pie. It's his thing. Hope Domino's alive. Not many rogues left.
Somehow, given the way everything is going, I don't think we're gonna find him in the state that you're hoping we're gonna find him. And if we do, I'd be very surprised. Where is that specifically, though? Right. Okay. Yep, there we go. Need to keep an eye on the clock. I have got like an hour worth of streaming in, probably. Or 1 hour more, at least, because I have some work to do in the afternoon. But I do have to keep an eye on it. Alright.
Oh, you're gonna die. Scrub.
Behold my gadgets!
Behold your what? Oh, your gadgets. I heard jackets. I was like, we're gonna have a fashion show? Oh, my jackets. Oh, this is a nice long range.
Take out those COV. Got you covered. Good luck.
Oh, you're alive! Unlike all of your friends. Maybe we shouldn't tell him that. I don't want to demotivate him. Although I do appreciate the fact that we're going to rescue a sniper, and in order to do it, we're using a sniper rifle, and a fairly good one at that. I want to hit his tiny little head. Ah, there we go. Shame you can't reload while ADSing. Or with this gun, at least. Yeah, it just does that. I don't quite understand how this weapon works. Do I not lose ammunition every time I get a critical hit? Or is there a chance that I don't lose ammunition on a critical hit, or what? I think it's one of the skills also, but same time seems to be happening more often with the sniper rifle. I don't know, maybe I was just lucky.
Say buongiorno
No,
to my
no.
tiny amigo.
Come kill this turd farmer.
Say buongiorno to my tiny amigo. I don't speak much Italian or Spanish, but I speak enough of both to know that those are two different languages. In fact, isn't there a Mr. Bean bit of that? There is, isn't there? I just don't remember what the movie was called. He's like, it's French and Spanish in the movie. He's on an airplane, and what do you call them? The stewardesses asking him in French whether he would like some coffee, whether he would like this and that and whatever, and he responds in perfect French, like, oh, oui, non, merci, etc., etc., and then she tells him, oh, your French is excellent, and he says, gracias, and like that. There you go, I feel like that's exactly what happened. Oh god, that sniper rifle is terrible compared to this. What is this, though? Okay, I need this, don't I? Yes, I do. It is better than what I have. And it's a legendary, too. Nice.
You did good, Cub.
Now get to that scanner.
Now, and speaking of comedies, I don't think I talked about this, and it'll be a good topic for like an hour or so, I think. I started watching The Office, the American version. Never saw the British version, which I think some people claim is like way better, and other people claim it's way worse, and I will reserve judgment until I see it. But I know a lot of like the internet culture behind the behind the American version, with memes and with, you know, just phrases and stuff like that. Mr. Bean is an icon, absolutely, man, absolutely, and it's so universal. Like, it's humor in its rawest form that you don't need language for it. You don't need a particular style or sense of humor that's based on any regional or national things or anything like that. It's so universally loved. It's and one of my favorite things is the intro to every Mr. Bean movie is him falling from the heavens, because Rowan Atkinson is a gift from God to us. That is just that is such a good little nod to the incredible work that he's done. And yeah, I mean, even not Mr. Bean, even like the Johnny English stuff, I think is really good. Although, generally speaking, British humor appeals to me quite a lot. In that sense, it is a bit of a stereotype, I suppose, with the accent and everything, right? It sort of makes sense. Not to say no shit, Sherlock, right? You like British humor, I never would have guessed. Yeah, it does, but anyways. So I didn't see The Office with Ricky Gervais and the British version, but I've been watching the American one. I made it to the 3rd season already. Although, to be fair, the episodes are pretty short. But, my god, that is... It's not the best, like, TV comedy ever, but it grows on you more than most other things I've seen. Philomena Chung cracks me up. Ah, yeah, that too. That is especially the, I know the interviews with like various experts and stuff, like what was the Soviet Onion? I believe you mean the Soviet Union, the Union of Soviet Social. No, I'm pretty sure it's the Soviet Onion, and that you have it wrong. And the man's like an expert on Soviet culture, history, or whatever. It's and so a lot of them just go, okay, in resignation, right? Just go, okay. And you see, like, I don't know, maybe 50% of the interviews go down that exact same line of reasoning and that line of conversation, and it never stops being funny. But the American Office is really good too. It's a little bit over the top at times. Ever watch Parliament sessions? Just watch them pop on each other. Oh, that too. But the UK Parliament has like a tradition of tomfoolery, to use a completely British word on you, right? Like to use an extra British word on you. It has a long tradition of stuff like that. I know, for example, there was a law prohibiting certain kind of speech on British grounds. I think it was you weren't supposed to insult the king, or you weren't supposed to blaspheme, or something along those lines. I don't remember what the exact law was. And it was marketed or presented to the public as we want, you know, a decent society where foul language isn't used, etc., etc. And so opponents to this, who are more free speech in Parliament, what they did is they would bring, like, either a stool or they would bring, like, a case or something just to stand on. So technically they are not on British ground, because they're standing on a table or on a stool or on whatever, and so they can blaspheme while standing on that, right? So this is the level of you know, and it really happened, and like people for disobeying that law were imprisoned and everything, but they got around on a technicality because, you know, we're not on the ground, you know, we're floating above it technically, so the law's not enforceable. And so this goes back to like the 1700s, the 1800s, stuff like that. And so ever since then, Parliament has been, well, I want to say one big joke, and I will not be mistaken in any way whatsoever, but, you know, at the same time you realise that people there govern the lives of absolutely everyone on the Isles, and so it's a joke that it maybe isn't as funny as you know, maybe it's not that funny anymore once you realise that, you know, you pay taxes to these people and that whatever they say over there can influence your future and your job and everything, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, yikes. But at any rate, it does have like a tradition of that almost, so absolutely. But the office characters from the American Office are just amazing. And they are a little bit cringy, and they are a little bit over the top at times and stuff. Granted, it's an Atlas weapon. I want to try it, because I'm kind of sick of the shotgun, even though it's good. Okay, smart bullets, tracker grenade. No, just smart bullets. Where am I going? I think Creed is one of my favourite ones, because... I mean, he's just hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious. There is something new you learn about him every single episode, and the man has like one line of dialogue every 3 or 4 episodes, and that's it.
Just kidding.
He's a side character if there ever was one, but it is hilarious. Last episode I watched, all the guys from the office are going to like this club or whatever, and they go inside the club, and Krieg, an elderly gentleman, goes in, and literally everyone in the club starts greeting him, and he's like, and they're like, hey, 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 and they're coming up and shaking his hand and hugging him and whatever. And everyone's just shocked, like, what the hell is this? How does every single person here know him? And the camera cuts to an interview with him, and he goes, oh yeah, I run a fake ID selling business out the back of my car with a machine that I stole from the police station when I was arrested. End of the episode. Or maybe something else happens. We move on to something completely different. That's all you learn about Krieg for the next 5 episodes, and you're just left pondering. Right? You're just left pondering as to what the freaking... First of all, he was arrested. Second of all, he stole a what now from the police station while being arrested. Like, what the hell? And it's just full of that, and it's like that there are hints that he's a psychopath, that he's a kleptomaniac, there are just... But at the same time, he's not like a villain or anything, he's just a guy working in the office. It is hilarious. Michael's a little bit too cringy, like he's the boss, the sort of main character. Dwight was my second favourite, up until the Krieg nonsense started happening. He's played by... I always thought it was Nick Offerman, because they kind of look alike a little bit, but it's not. It's Rainn Wilson, right? It's not Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson's a Marvel character. What's his name? Dwight. The Office... It is Rainn Wilson. Yeah, I got it right. Rainn Wilson coincidentally is a Marvel character as well, but or is it DC? No, it is Marvel. It is Marvel. But yeah, it is also the guy's actual name. I also know he participated in that chess tournament, like the actor, with like popular streamers and stuff, learning chess and then playing against each other, and I believe he even won. Obscure humor is hilarious. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Some of the more like explicit stuff with Michael doing like goofy things around the office and acting like a child is not really my style, although there is like a lore reason behind him being so childish and everything, and it sort of plays into his character that because of childhood trauma and being bullied and stuff, he's completely stuck in his childhood, and he desperately wants to be unlike any other boss, and so he's consciously cringy, and it's not like the show's trying to be funny. It's very much aware of the things that you know aren't that funny to anyone. And it's the reactions of other people that that you're supposed to sort of get a kick out of. And that to me is like, I mean, I don't think I've seen a show that does background acting any better than The Office, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So you'll have the main character in focus saying a joke or doing something stupid or claiming something stupid or whatever. The actors in the background all give their reactions, and sometimes you don't even see it. Like it's in the corner of the screen, it's in the corner of your eye. You don't even see it. You have to like rewind to look at the reactions of everyone else, but it's always there. And so in that sense, the show feels so real because of that, right? It feels like you're actually in the office and it's really happening because everyone reacts. And nobody's like, okay, I'm not in focus right now, so I'm not going to act. I'm not going to do anything. It's a constant, like, live set and situation and everything's happening, and that is really good. And in fact, some of the funniest things happen way off in the background, in the screen. Yeah, like, it is really funny. I think, what was her name? I'm terrible with names in TV shows and movies in general. I think it's Meredith. Meredith is like, sometimes less, sometimes more subtly hinted at being a functioning alcoholic. And so there is a scene where there's some drama happening in the office, and in the background, Meredith I think, is stealing the soap dispenser or something like that because it contains alcohol and starts licking that. And it's happening in the background, and you can barely see it. Like, someone has to tell you that it's in the background for you to pay attention to it, because it's like miles away in the background. It's not even... It's like a tiny little thing, like it's a speck, it's a couple of pixels in the background, but you can sort of make out what she's doing, and it's really funny once you do, because it has nothing to do with what's happening in the actual screen, or in the main focus of what the camera's looking at. So it's it's really good.
Fragment acquired.
As I knew you would, Vault Hunter. After all this,
But I am sort of left wondering how much of it is... I know it's based on the British version. I am wondering how different it is, because, you know, different audiences, different time periods as well a little bit, but it's culturally different at the time as well and everything, so I'm wondering how much similarity there is between the British office and this one, and I might watch a few episodes just to sort of get a feel for it. I'm wondering how much of it they just copied over, and if it's one of those things where you have like the same character archetypes and you don't really want to watch the same show that's just a different version of it or not, or on the other hand it could be completely different. So yeah, I really don't know, but I am curious about that.
You're gonna get purged, heretic!
We have something relatively similar here as well. It's, funnily enough, it goes... The name's slightly different, but it's similar enough. It's not The Office, it's The Government Job. Now, that's what the TV show here is called, and it's like... It's a series of skits that are available on YouTube. It's not like a proper TV show with seasons and episodes and stuff, but they've done, I think, over 4,000 skits or something like that. And the whole joke is how horribly inefficient government-run bureaucracy is, and the type of people that work in government bureaucracy and sort of what their job devolves into over time and stuff. And it's very similar to The Office in some aspects of, you know, how boring their job is and stuff. And I really like those details. Like, Jim's idea of fun is conducting a Pavlovian reflex experiment on Dwight in the American Office. and he's done that for like 3 weeks. Because that's how exciting their job is. That's the most fun part of his day. He would get an email notification, and he would hand White, mint, not gum, but like, I don't know, some piece of food or whatever, you know, like candy or whatever. And so he did that for like 3 weeks, and then 3 weeks later he gets an email notification, and Dwight just instinctively reaches out with his hand, and Jim's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, I don't know. And he has like a crisis of identity at that point, and he believes he's insane. So like that's how fun their job is. So for 3 weeks he's been doing just that. It's hilarious. Parks and Rec is fun too. It's satire. I know. I had a good friend of mine talk to me about it yesterday, I think. I've never seen it, but I will. I think there's like 7 or 8 seasons of The Office, so I want to finish that first. But afterwards, yeah, definitely. I think it's right up there in the same ballpark, you know, of slightly different but similar enough. So if I'm not running out of comedies to watch anytime soon, it's good. I know some clips out of it, and that's I think how I started off with The Office as well. Like they keep appearing on memes and YouTube videos and you know whatever. So it's difficult to not know at least some scenes or stuff from that. Same with Parks and Rec. But as I was saying, the government job here, the TV show we have, is kind of all about the inefficiency of government-run bureaucracy. And the most hilarious part is a good chunk of what they're doing is based on real-life events that happen to some people, not necessarily the actors or the producers, but stories that they've heard. And so, like, I'll give you an example. There was a guy that needed to go... He needed some documents for, I think, like a construction license or a building permit or something like that. In order to get that, then there's like, you know, a set of 10 different requests and confirmations and stuff that you need to get. And one of them requires you to go to the 3rd floor of this office building, which nobody ever goes to, and it's like the world's most inefficient thing, because it's a whole office floor dedicated to one thing that people visit like once in their lifetime, and that's it. And so he goes into one of those offices that he was told, like, go to office, I'll come up with a number, go to office 24 on the 2nd floor. So he goes to the 2nd floor, knocks on the door, nobody responds. He opens the door. Inside is a man with a gigantic pot cooking some stew or cabbage or whatever. And that's his job. He's in an office space surrounded by some, like, papers and whatever, and that's all he's been doing all day is cooking this gigantic stew for God knows what reason. And it's gotten to the point where he doesn't even feel the need to explain what he's doing to the guy that came in to, you know, hand him the papers or whatever. He's like, what's up? What do you want? I was like, building permit, I need the thing for the other thing. I was like, oh yeah, just put it down on the table. Turns around, continues stirring the pot. Not metaphorically, literally. He doesn't even feel the need to explain, like, oh, sorry, man, you know, we're really busy, and I needed to do this because of that, and whatever. No, he doesn't even feel the need to acknowledge that there is a giant pot that he's just stirring, and that's what he's doing right now. And they make a whole skit based off of that, and the whole sort of running joke for, like, literally 4,000 episodes, which admittedly are, like, 5 to 10 minutes long, but still... The running joke for like 4,000 episodes is they have not solved one single solitary issue on the job ever for like 40 years of their employment. Not collectively, individually, each of them. They have not solved a single thing. They have not stamped a single piece of paper. Nothing. For 40 years. And there were a few close calls. Sometimes they almost had to do their job, right? Because, you know, the ministry of whatever is sending in the inspectors to see what sort of performance they had or whatever, and then they start faking performance reviews or whatever. At one point, they pretend to be insane, so they dress up as Spartans in the most budget, cheap costumes they could find. half naked with beer bellies, like 2 of them. The other guy's just hilarious and like has a giant head. Like that's what he physically looks like. He's normally built, but his head is huge. Like it's whatever. And they dress up as Spartans, and they're like, they will come and try to take our licenses and papers away from us, pretty much parodying the speech from 300. And like, they will try and take our land and our soil and water from us, but we will not give them that because this is Sparta. And they're like, this is the government job. And he kicks the door open like the what's his name? Like the king of Sparta kicks the Persian envoy into that giant well. It's pretty much a parody of that, and he just kicks the door open, and they go attack the inspectors with like, you know, whatever they had on hand, like folders and files and stuff like that, and it's hilarious. And that's sort of our local equivalent, if you will, of that. But that's one of my favorite episodes. They just pretend to be insane for the entirety of the inspection, whatever, and they get away with not having to deal with a single issue in their job ever. There is that person in every job. I worked for a large airspace company. An aircraft mechanic became the coffee guy. He just went around filling coffee stations and making coffee.
I would kill someone for a job.
Hey, listen, you know what the US Army says? Unofficial but accepted. Listen, I think there's a saying in the US Army or something that the army runs on caffeine, right? Or was it like there was more of a joke that all the vehicles and aircraft and everything in the army run on caffeine first and then everything else? Because if the army runs out of coffee, nobody's able to do their job, and that's it. So, you know, if you take a look at it from that perspective, he has the most important job on the planet. But, yeah, I mean, it's... Exactly. There you go. So, and the worst part is, like, it's... You're watching a parody of, like, an office job in the government sector, and then you need to go and get something from the government sector, and you realize it's not so much of a parody as more like a carbon copy. So I think factory fuel, we call it. Yeah. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, it's the factory fuel. Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to introduce a little bit more convenience into my life about like 6 months ago or so. The way we pay for our electricity bills here, or the way we did up until like very recently, was you had to go physically to a place, fill out like a check, or fill out one of those banknotes or whatever, hand them the money, and that's how you pay. You have to physically go in person with a piece of paper and pay it. It's the same for electricity, water, and I think it's called like communal services or whatever, but basically it means garbage collection. Everyone pays for garbage collection. Whether you're a home, whether you're a business, whatever, it's just the price is different. And so those 3 things, the vast majority of people have to pay in paper physically by going to a particular location. Somewhat recently, they introduced a new system of being able to pay it remotely, just like you pay your internet bill or whatever. You sit at home and you just pay it with your credit card or with your bank card or your Visa or whatever. You know, you just pay it remotely from your bank account directly with mobile banking, and you don't need to go physically anywhere. I believe most of the civilized world has had this for decades, if not longer, but they were tweaking around with that. They were changing that system up and down recently, and so they introduced a new one where you'd sign up with some particular documents that you needed. You would prove that you basically provide proof of identification, proof that the account that you're paying for is actually yours, which is kind of silly because I doubt that anyone would pay my electricity bill for me, and I also don't really think that that's illegal, but whatever. Anyways, you have to provide all that documentation, and you can sign up at their app or website or whatever, and then you could do that, right? fine. All fine and well. I get one of the previous bills that we had from the previous month. There's all the information that you need there, including the, like, ID of you as a customer. And so I fill out all the information, everything's done, I send it on their website, good. Now you need to go to the place where you physically used to pay for the bills, and you need to take out a piece of paper, you need to copy it, sign it, stamp it, or no, you don't stamp it, you just sign it, and then you return it to them, and then the service is activated and you can pay with your phone, like from home, remotely. Awesome. Everything's fine and well, right? Simple enough. Could be a lot simpler, but it's the government, we'll forgive them, right? Okay. Go to the place where you pay your bills. There's like 6 people working in those little cubicle things. Go to the first one. Hello, my name is so-and-so. I'd like to do this and this. Oh. Yeah, I don't know about that, says the office or the government worker. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry that you haven't heard, but this is now a thing. It is available, and this is the only place where I can do it. Like, it's here. I'm sorry you can't send me anywhere else. This is where you have to do it. Could you contact maybe some of your colleagues or something? Maybe they know more. Could you help me out here? No, sorry. The colleague that reads emails and knows how to open them is on vacation.
This passage will put you right underneath this state.
I swear to you, this happened 6 months ago. I think about this every night I go to sleep. Which I understand sounds maybe a little bit funnier than I intended it to, but I swear to you, I still think about this every night. So out of the 6 of them that work there, not a one knows how to open an email and read it. Now, I don't need people to respond to the email. I don't need them to print anything out. No, that's rocket science. Out of the 6 of them there, not a one knows how to click on the email that just arrived and read it. And they have one colleague, one person out of the 7th one, supposedly, right? 7th son of a 7th son. And now I really want to listen to that song. It's Iron Maiden or Metallica, right? It's one of the two. Anyways, the 7th son of the 7th son there, apparently, in that office, is the only one that knows how to read emails. And hopefully respond to them? I'm not sure whether he knows that, but at least he can read them. And that gets us a lot closer to solving the problem than we were previously. What the actual fuck? I swapped the .wav file for the Outlook chime when someone gets email with get to work that I recorded. Oh, that is good. That is good. I would do that on my PC, but I get a ton of emails that have nothing to do with work. Even on my work email, you get like invitations to certain concerts or conferences that have nothing to do with your job or whatever. So it's not really applicable. But if I had an email that only sent me work-related stuff, I would totally do that. He was considered a lazy engineer, and we spammed email every day and laughed in our cubicles because we could hear him. Oh, that is awesome. Oh man, that reminds me, the office job that I had for like a month, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit over a month that I quit for the position in academia, but the previous one that I had, like my previous job, I had a colleague that was in IT. He was this older guy, and he is the most hilarious person I ever talked to. He was really old school, like he would use really old school programs and stuff to solve various problems. He was considered lazy. Sorry, yeah, I read that already. And so he was really old school, but he was really good at his job. Like, don't mistake old school for being terrible at his job. He would use like what was it, Total Commander, if you remember that, as a program to edit files and stuff. Like nobody I know uses that anymore. It's considered like not obsolete, but like just nobody uses it anymore, right? So he was really a fan of all of those like old programs for everything. But he was really good at his job as an IT guy in the office, and he at one point hung up a poster above his head with a bear dressed in a Soviet NKVD uniform, which is like the political police officers, and the caption underneath said something like, "You better get to work, comrade, or else." And he hung that up in view of everyone in the office that ever came in, including his boss and everything. And that bear was hilarious to me. Like, every time I came into his office, I used to come down just to see the bear. Like, it was hilarious. I love that bear so much. I was like, I need to grab this for my home. And he's like, no, you can't get it at home. It's not your work spot. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, damn it, you're right. It doesn't make any sense if I hung this up at home, even though it's just funny. You know what I need to do? I need to get a job that I work from home, and so I can hung up that poster just to have it, because it's the funniest thing ever. And the most hilarious thing was the facial expression of the bear, who was dead serious. Like, it was an NKVD officer. He was ready to send you to the gulag, except that he was a bear, of course. It was so good. One designer had a nice full frost. Sorry. Jesus. Yeah, need some water. Oh, laugh too much. One designer had a nice full frosty Corona beer with the beach sunset in the background as a desktop background. Nice. Nice. We photoshopped an empty bottle and swapped it. Took her a week to notice. Oh man, that's one thing. I love working from home. The dynamic work hours, the comfort and everything. I absolutely love it. But the one thing I miss is the office pranks, because I mean, I put it to you, that's the only thing that makes the whole work environment tolerable. Because otherwise it's just, you're sitting in a office for like 9 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours a day, whatever. It is intolerable unless you have stuff like that. Absolutely. We used to have like a collection of post-it notes as well, with "That's what she said" jokes. And the most hilarious thing is, it's very much like The Office, and every "that's what she said" joke that they would make. But the rule was, you can only write it down if the "that's what she said" joke happened while there was someone else in the room that wasn't in on it. So if we had, for example, clients, because our whole job was sending students away for student exchange programs. That's basically what the office was. That was the main job of the office when I was there. And so what we would do is every time there was a student that came around and they would have questions about, you know, how do I get a visa for this country? How do I do this? How do I do that? And so on and so forth. And it was our job to know all that and to explain it to them. Every time there was a "that's what she said" joke, you would write it down and put it on a pile that was in like the corner of the office. The pile had then grown into several piles, which had then grown into a folder, which had then grown into such a large folder that we had to put it in the base, or in the attic, sorry, of the office. And it was a list of "that's what she said" jokes from like 2010 onwards. And it never stopped growing. There was like an edition a day, pretty much, more or less. And, yeah, I mean, I honest to God, I can't remember any of them right now, but it was... The funniest thing is just watching that pile grow day in, day out. And sometimes you would go on lunch break or whatever, and you would see like 3 more pieces of paper at it, and you're like, right. And we would have like maybe not a tradition, but like every month or so, we would flip the pile over and we would read the old ones, or we would pick up like random 7 or 8 jokes and we would just read them out of context, what someone said. And that was the funniest bit, is because those words were actually said in the office. You wouldn't put a "that's what she said" at the end, you would just like put the quote, right? But it would the joke would be that's what she said. Like, for example, Anastasia, I know that this following procedure is going to be very hard for you. That's what she said, right? So it was funnier than that, and I'm not remembering any of them at this time. But you would just read like out of context things that were said in the office, and I swear to God, if our boss came and read that, he would have questions. He would probably have just paperwork to get us fired, less so than questions. But still, I am like that was hilarious. That was awesome. It was one of the better parts of working there. Nope. Absolutely love that. On the other hand, the actual job itself was, oh man, it was the worst job I ever had. That's why I only stuck around for a month, maybe like a month and 2 weeks or so. I could not wait to get out of there. The people in my office space itself, like the people I worked with, which were technically 2 individuals, although on paper there were 4. Government job, what can I say? 2 of them never showed up for like 2 years, but they still had a job. Don't ask. What can I say? Wait, what am I supposed to do? I'm not really looking at this. Oh. Anyways, like the people in my actual office that I worked with were phenomenal. Everyone else from like the neighboring departments and stuff, it was a freaking snake den, man. It was, everyone's trying to set someone up. Everyone's trying to, you know, get some drama and involved or whatever, and I just didn't understand half of it, and a lot of it was over me as well as the sort of the new hire, because someone reported to the boss that someone's bullying me or whatever, and to this day I'm not sure who did it. I have a sneaking suspicion, but that wasn't the case. It really wasn't. I was just being trained how to do the job. And someone started a whole drama about, well, you know, this person is abusing the new guy, you should probably, you know, fire them or penalize them or whatever. And then all the pressure suddenly is on me because, you know, are you really do you feel like you're being bullied by this person or by anyone in the office? And then if you say no, now you have a conflict with the person that reported it. If you say yes, then, well, obviously I'm lying at that point. I mean, it was a stressful job, don't get me wrong, but... And, like, that whole thing was, to me, was like, what? Why? Like, I've been here for about, like, a week or so. Like, don't ask me anything. I really, like, this is some sort of next-level inherited drama from, like, you know, months and years ago that I'm now getting dragged into. And then the boss comes over and asks me, like, you know, do you feel like you're being harassed by anyone in the office or whatever? And I'm like, what, where is this coming from? Like, I didn't complain to anyone about anything. Not even jokingly. I never said, like, oh, man, like, this person's harassing me or whatever, and oh, man, this job is so stressful or whatever. I was just like, what the hell is going on here? And absolute snake then. And the sort of straw that broke the camel's back, someone stole my mug, my office mug, my favorite mug. I brought my favorite mug to the office because at the time I was a bit younger. I didn't drink coffee. I still don't drink like regular black coffee, but I feel like I had this conversation on stream, and I think you were there as well. But never mind. I didn't even really drink tea. I just drank water for the majority of the day. And so I brought my favorite mug, and I would fill it up with the water at the, what do you call those, like water dispenser things? It had like filtered water in there. It was great. I was happy. Brought my favorite mug to the office, and at the end of every day, I would leave it downstairs for the, what do you call it, the cleaners and stuff to wash, and, you know, they'd get it ready for the next day. That's what everyone did, not just me. The policy police. I had the feds investigate me due to a complaint, and it turns out the complaint misrepresented the policy. Yeah, there you go. Well, it's not even a policy here, it's just like made up stuff, and it was... Anyways, and then, like, that's what everyone did. And one of my coworkers at one point says, you know what, you really shouldn't leave your mug downstairs. I'm like, why? Isn't that like the job of the cleaning ladies and whatever to like, you know, they sweep the floors and everything, and at the end of the day, they do the dishes as well. If anyone had like coffee, tea, whatever, if anyone had lunch there, and so on and so forth. We didn't have a canteen or anything, but we had, you know, some basic stuff like that, like snacks or whatever. And so they would clean all of that up. It wasn't your job to clean anything. Destroy the bottle, right? Yeah. Okay, there we go. So, at one point, one of my colleagues is like, "Yeah, you really shouldn't leave your mug down there. Someone's gonna steal it." There's like 20. Okay, there's like 30 mugs down there. There's maybe 15 people in the office or on the office floor. Why would you steal the mug? A week later, my mug gets stolen. And I honest to God, I think I knew who did it as well, but I had no proof. And it was a Mandalorian mug as well. You know, Star Wars Mandalorian, I think it just came out, or the second season came out at the time, or something like that. It was about 3 years ago-ish. 3.5 years ago. No, it was 3 years ago. 3 years and 3 months ago. That's roughly what it was. And so I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm like, can I complain about this to anyone? Can I do anything about this? Like, nope, there's no sorry. There's no cameras, there's nothing you can do. It's just bid farewell to your mug. And it's not that someone took it, like, to use it for the rest of the day. Someone took it home. Like, properly stole it. I was like, man, we get paid a good wage here. The people are not struggling in this office, right? Sure enough, I know some people in that office that worked 2 jobs because they had, like, loans they need to pay off, or they had children, and that's, you know, obviously a major expense, and you need extra income and stuff like that. But nobody's struggling to the point where they need to steal mugs. Especially because it was just like a normal, small ceramic mug. It wasn't anything special, it wasn't anything extravagant, it just had the Mandalorian theme, like, printed on it. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, this is not a healthy workspace. I need to get out of here, I need to find something else. And I did. And I am never happier. I was never happier than the day I left. Well, I was when I finished all my exams and stuff. That was, although I'm still sort of processing that for my PhD studies and stuff. But outside of that, right, that was one of the happiest days of my life, is when I went to the office of the guy that was technically our employer. Even though it's a government position, so technically speaking, you're working for the government, but there is someone that is, you know, your superior. So I'm not a boss in a traditional capitalistic sense, I suppose. But yeah. Anywho, went to the superior and I was like, listen, situation is like this. I appreciate the offer. I appreciate everything that you've done for me. I appreciate the training that I was given here. I know that some time and effort has been invested in me in that sense. But I really don't see myself, I don't really see my future in this office, and I much rather see myself in in academia or in a teaching position or something like that, rather than administrative work. And I would, you know, as soon as my contract expires, which is like in I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that, I would not like to renew it. I would like to move on to somewhere else. And my boss was really pissed when I said that. You can tell. He held it in. He didn't say anything wrong. He was like, okay, like, if that's what you feel.
Well, I trimmed the last loose end of the Jacob's line.
If you want to kill Wainwright, then you will have to. Oh.
Yes, I know.
Okay, you are not murdering one of my favorite characters in Borderlands and getting away with it. Here's hoping that he's just got himself shot and not actually murdered, but regardless.
Cub wants to play. You do not want this.
It was pretty pissed at that, but I think he told me something along the lines of, okay, just so you know, like, once you leave, you can never come back here, or something like that. I didn't want to argue, because part of me wanted to say that's not your call to make, but also your term is 3 years, not eternity. Just saying. But I understand that emotions are running high because you were really counting on me because there was a vacancy that needed filling, and you know they're having problems finding people for the job. They did find someone else like the day after immediately, and they brought him in, and it was actually a friend of mine, and he works there to this day. Although his fortune is that a lot of the situation has improved quite a bit. And a lot of the people that used to work there were fired or left of their own accord after I left as well. In fact, I know like okay, maybe not a dozen, but like 6 or 7 people left around that time. 2 people left before I did, and then another 3 or 4 left after I did too. And so, yeah, like, a lot of the staff changed, and so he inherited a much easier position with better colleagues and everything, so...
Nice shooting, superfan!
He worked there from that point. Oversight or government does have someone who are like that, create an environment antithetical to the process. I work with the FAA. Yeah, I mean, but it's I feel like whenever you get involved in any sort of government job, that is difficult to. Okay, where's the? I don't see the fanatic. Where is he? I need to kill you to get up. Okay, good. There you go. Give me back the bear. Well, that was one actually slightly challenging boss fight. Not bad. Not bad.
Alistair, are you all right? Me? What about you? You were shot just as much as I was.
You all right?
Bolt Hunter, for giving her every chance and for humoring a blinded fool of a brother.
You two gonna live? You got a little shot.
We will survive the trip back to the lodge. It's up to you to finish the task, Bolt Hunter.
Right, the vault.
Okay, you better not die. We lost way too many good characters in this game already.
Can't you just tell me the answer?
Firestorm. Alright, I'll try it.
Oh, I do apologize. Are you hearing this, Alistair? The Vault Hunters lost all whimsical intrigue.
Forgive Winnie, he gets cranky when he's been shot. Do just try.
He's cranky when he's been shot. Yeah, getting shot will do that to you, I understand.
On the terrace, you just have to recreate how the subject died.
Once
Is that right?
Path to the vault, I will join you with the rest of the vault key.
Okay, sure thing. He reminds me of the guy from Fallout 4. What's his name?
That's the founder himself,
Preston? Probably Preston Garvey, right? Except Preston Garvey's really annoying with the whole, you know, another settlement has asked for your help. I'll mark it on your map. Which, in retrospect, I know it's not the only line of dialogue he has, but it feels like the only line of dialogue he has, you know what I mean? Dialogue's actually, like, sarcastic and funny and stuff, but yeah, I think it's Preston Garvey. What do we go for next? I need to consult the guide. I mean, I know the green tree is pretty much, you fill it up all the way with everything. Oh, no, that's actually good that I checked this. No, you don't. You pick rushing offense. You can now sprint and shoot at the same time. Lifesteal 8%. Oh, yes, please. That's interesting. Sprint and shoot at the same time. Okay. I can't ADS and sprint at the same time, but I can...
The man was shot in the face. Did you catch that part?
Okay, yeah, I'll shoot him in the face, don't worry.
Singleton got held up, and all he cared to do was inspect the bore of the robber's rifle. That is.
Also, what the hell is this gun that I'm... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna switch this for this. Trash this, because it's really not that good. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. Do need this, and then the second pistol. I need to compare the two pistols. So the Dastardly Maggie has a lower reload time, better rate of fire, lower magazine, higher damage. I mean, I understand that the item score is lower, but it just looks like a better weapon. Although, no, it's not. Because this one does incendiary damage. That's something you can miss on. Yeah, this one is not as good. So, we need to replace this pistol for something else. That is not a pistol. I mean, I'll swap it out for the shotgun. But I have no intention of...
The robber shot him in the face. Head to the menagerie next.
Alright, I guess. Okay, head to the menagerie. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's a proper rifle. Fortunately, the damage is not the best, but it's fun to use, and so... Yeah. I'm gonna be brutally honest, I don't really see the sprinting and shooting at the same time being overly useful. But at the same time, until we play Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, none of this really matters that much because the game's not particularly hard, so... And I can respec all the skills later if I feel like it and really get a... Maybe try a different build or something. But this one, I am told, is optimized for single player and everything, so... You know, worth it, I suppose. Not a bad gun after all. I mean, you can get criticals semi-reliably, and the decoration on it is pretty nice.
Maddox was a nervous man who never left his room. The outside world was full of those who surely meant him doom. While his concentration was on ruination, the gun at his back went kaboom.
Yep, there you go, shot in the back.
Looking out the window, he never noticed that his butler was plotting his demise. Gothic drum. The final riddle is in the greenhouse.
Okay. Yeah, this is where it shows that the repeater gun that I have is really not that good. Whenever you come across a slightly tougher enemy like this, it's...
Like, follow, and obey.
Well, it's fine.
Mega bitch!
Not a big deal. Okay, pew pew.
Make sure to call me God Queen when you thank me later.
Oh, could you stop? It's got the pistol's got a built-in voice comm in it, and it's taunting me. Was it worth suiciding? Not really. I mean, I also understand that I probably can't use that word, can I? Yikes.
Firearms to someone without a mustache. They had a great vision and great greed. It was him that made
Was it worth doing what I did for it? Not really. Given the fact that it won't shut up. I do find that a uniquely Borderlands problem. My gun will not shut up.
Have you been?
Just feeding the birds. Cut them down, cub.
Do I have it on incend? Yeah, I have it on incendiary. Good. That's works good with the rest of my skills and stuff.
Try better. There. I said it.
Okay. I'm on 767 health. I wonder, the whole lifesteal with the run and gun stuff, how useful is it going to be? Let's check. It's actually not bad. It refills a good part of your health. Huh. Okay. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Maybe a little bit more useful than I thought it would be. Huh. Okay. There's got to be a way. Okay, there's the ladder. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Figure there has to be a ladder to get up there. And up and away.
Old Montgomery Jacobs. He catches up to me and demands to know where I was going. So I say, you know where I'm going, Monty.
Okay, give me something good. It's a COV gun. So, oh sorry, no, it's a Hyperion gun. You're a literature expert, and you may be pleased to know I am reading John Milton's Paradise Lost! It's incredible, and I'm glad I'm reading it, but I missed out for so long. Oh, yes, I am very pleased indeed. Paradise Lost is... Oh man, it's one heck of a piece of literature. Where do I even begin? Yeah, so... First and foremost, Milton's political ideology, shall we say, sort of tends to bleed through into the work a little bit. But from a contemporary point of view, it's really fascinating because his picture of what Christianity should be is very unique, I want to say, and that's... it's fascinating to read about, not just from from a contemporary standpoint, but from that time as well. He's a very militant Christian in that his idea of being a Christian is this potential stored kinetic energy of being prepared to act and being like an army for God in that sense, and that's how a state should be organized as well, and that sort of bleeds through in his work as well. But at the same time, being like so militantly Christian, his Satan is the most compelling character, perhaps of all the villains ever. Maybe I didn't listen to this because I was talking. Leg, no. Arm, no. Chest, groin. Always gonna be groin. It always has to end with a groin, doesn't it? At the same time, he makes the most compelling Satan character ever, and I'm not going to spoil anything, I'm not going to go into it, but there is, I don't know who wrote the paper on it, it's a really old paper, but someone wrote a paper on the fact that his Satan character is trapped within his own destiny of having to rebel against God. And at the same time, he makes him sort of all-knowing and all, and very wise. And despite this, he still rebels against God, and he knows he's going to lose. And so this singular fact goes against everything that his character is building up towards. And it's said that he does it on purpose. Because, like, he is the ultimate evil, right? At the same time, his case is extremely compelling. And yet, despite being wise, he still has to rebel. That's within his nature, within his character. And so, in some weird sense, he is a tragic character at the same time, despite being the, you know, be-all, end-all villain. And it's such an interesting way of looking at the character, far from, again, Milton being a Satanist or something, which I believe a few people did argue back in the day, just because of the way he writes everything. It couldn't be further from the truth, right? He's the exact opposite. He's like a very, very literally militant Christian and like and all that. But at the same time, he writes such a good Satan character that it's fascinating to read and to really get into all the characters psychologically and stuff. And his Fall from Paradise as well. I mean, there's a lot of reading to do. It's one heck of a long book, but his Fall from Paradise is also pretty interesting. And he's, I think, one of the first people to, although I'm not quite sure on this, whether I could be mixing it up with someone else's work. I don't remember exactly how the fall happens in his Paradise versus the Bible, and what the difference is, and what sort of what he emphasizes differently. But I know that there is some difference there, and I mean, yeah, it's just a fascinating piece of work. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, he is he's rather special, right?
There she is, Vault Hunter, my family legacy. A small price to pay, I think, for bringing the Jacobs Corporation back into its rightful hands. You have my thanks.
Okay, that is an awesome bridge. Mainly due to its scale.
I will meet you there.
But good God, that is an awesome bridge. Whew. Yeah. He also has a second book, Paradise Found, right? Yep. He also has a second book called Paradise Found. That is not the same John Milton. Wait, yes it is. What the... Paradise Found is apparently a kid's book. It's Paradise Regained. That's what I'm looking for, not Paradise Found. Okay. That is kind of hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so there is a sequel to it called Paradise Regained. The sequel is not Paradise Found, because Paradise Found is apparently a children's, I don't know if it's a coloring book or it's a children's story book. At the same time, I believe it lists John Milton as the author. I found this on Goodreads.com. I don't think this is the same John Milton, even though it does list the John Milton as the author, like the author of Paradise Lost being the author of this as well. I want to read you the description of Paradise Found. This is hilarious. Abby, the farmer's dog, wakes up one morning to find out that his companion Nellie has disappeared. Where has she gone? They're normally always together by the fire in the kitchen or playing in the gardens and surrounding fields, and he sets off to find her. Abby takes in all the sights and smells of the countryside and a range of familiar strange places, and he follows the mystery illustrated with original paintings by artist Helen Elliott. That has nothing to do with Paradise Lost, I'm sorry. That is hilarious, though. I'm looking up references, descriptions, how things were described back then as far as terminology, and it's amazing. I'm at book 1390. Kind of reminds me of the movie Dogma with other side of the story approach. I don't think I've seen that movie, but I'll look it up after the stream, definitely. Yeah, you do get other side of the story, and he does reconcile it though at the end with his Christianity, which is it's an interesting sort of train of, not really train of thought, but it's an interesting sort of road he goes down towards the end as well, because he does sort of put two and two together, like of his Satan being basically the hero, and then he does sort of reconcile all that with within the Christianic dogma and within his own personal faith and belief. He does sort of put things into place, quote unquote, and he does reason it out at the end. But it's a fascinating road to go down, like you know, exactly what you said, the other side of the story approach. And it's an extremely compelling other side of the story approach, which is the main important thing, I suppose. But yeah, it's really good. I was gonna start reading Dante's Inferno, and I have the book, and I don't think I showed it in like a short or anything, but it's the most gorgeous book I've ever seen. Visually, just with the illustrations and with the cover and everything, it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm almost afraid to touch it. It looks like a museum piece. And I was gonna start reading it, and I keep like distracting myself with stuff. On the one hand, like I had some stuff to do the past few days, and then I streamed, I did this, I did that, and I never got around to starting. And I opened up the first page, and I was like, yeah, I'll definitely do this at some point. Can I please? Hello? Okay.
Sell out.
Dogma was made by Kevin Smith's story of fallen angels with religious humor. Okay. Good. Apologize, but I'm going through a bit of a, you know, a bit of a moment here. What the? No. This is safe. Narration, this was not safe. Ooh. Yes, okay, got it. Good. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great, just not right now. Is it the one where they're trying to get, is it the one where they're trying to, like, sort of play the system to get into heaven? Because they're two fallen angels and they've been condemned to, you know, suffering or whatever, and they're trying to... It is the one, isn't it? I heard about it. I don't remember if I've watched the movie. I don't think I have, but I've heard about it. Okay, the Grave Ward has been somewhat subdued. Oh god. The Grave Ward has been temporarily somewhat subdued. For Christ's sake, stop trying to push me off this fucking thing! I can tell what you're trying to do, please don't.
Come kill this turd farmer.
Look, game, I apologize for saying that you're a little bit too easy. I'll be the first to apologize, okay? It's... This is now a bit much. This is officially now a little bit much. Oh, I'm used to the attack patterns now. Oh god. Stay inside the trench. Oh god, okay, stay inside the trench. Staying inside the trench did not help. The trench is not fireproof. Oh no. Oh, thank you. Thank you, coming in with a save. Help, 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 help. No! No! Come here. Okay, good. We're so close. We're so close to greatness.
Well done, Vault Hunter. Now, I've been working on some experimental technology that should allow us to neutralize the Vault Monster, rendering it useless to the Calypsos.
Oh, for frick's sake. Okay.
Do this.
We're good.
Try. You may want to stand back. As I said, experiment.
We're good. Hold up, I gotta loot absolutely everything.
I hope. Tannis, you all right? Just a little more. Ah, excellent, it worked. I told Lilith it would. Sir Hammerlock once told me that when hunting a beast, it's best to deny its sustenance. Starving creatures make mistakes. Now Tyrene Calypso will be unable to derive power from the Vault Monster.
What the actual dick? Did you just kill the Vault Monster for real? Come on! Now there's no point in any of this! I'm so hungry! I guess I don't know, leech a pile of tinks? They're like popcorn shrimp, but more screamy.
You guys really suck, you know that? Totally uncalled for.
It seems we're alone.
Oh yeah, this is uncalled for. Sure it is.
Meanwhile, I will examine the Iridian technology.
Oh, meanwhile, I need a vacation from this, because, whew. Yeah, angels who were torn out of heaven, the Nephilim thing, and they're trying to get back in. Apart from the humor, there is tragedy fell in the movie. Well done. Okay. Yeah, I heard about that. I think, I don't remember if I've seen the movie. It seems familiar enough. I may have seen it like a while ago. Well, a while ago, like a long, long while ago. But I don't remember how it ends. I don't remember a lot of it. It's like a 2000-something movie, right? Like 2005, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Like pre-2010, I want to say. I know, I'll look it up. Dogma, IMDb. Oh, no, it's a 1999 movie, isn't it? Yep, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Oh god, I'm old. Yeah, I've seen that movie, probably. I've probably seen it in like 2004, 5, something like that, and then that's why I don't remember most of it.
As well as Pandora, and a fourth vault symbol I do not recognize. Could Tyrene Calypso be telling the truth about the Great Vault? I am concerned. Come out and we will return to Sanctuary together. Lilith will want to hear about this.
Okay. Tyrene Calypso saying the truth about the vault. More shocking things have happened in this franchise, but this would still be surprising to me. Just want to make sure I don't miss out on any of the boxes, even though they tend not to have the best loot, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, it's not particularly great. It's a Theodore shotgun. I don't like Theodore weapons. And then that's it, right? Is there anything else? No. No. Alright, we're done. Whew! So, what's this? The third vault we opened? Huzzah, ladies and gentlemen. If the Calypso twins teleport and kill Tannis at this point,
Disconcerting.
Now, Ty, do it.
Yep.
Tannis! Ah, crap.
And she's gone. Oh, man. When you killed that monster, I was like, shit. But we've got our eye on a bigger prize.
Lilith, the Calypsos just took Tannis.
No! Damn it! Vault Hunter, I need you back on Sanctuary, now!
Yeah, talk about predictable, right? Yeah. Anyways. Let's go back to Sanctuary, and we can sell our stuff there, maybe even do a bit of gambling, although I don't really think that'll ever be worth it in this game. Or in real life, kids, just for the record, but yeah. Alright, what did I miss? Not a single weapon, look at that. Loot Goblin par excellence. Sometimes I even impress myself. Okay, Marcus.
Favorite customer.
Your favorite customer has returned with, well, a good bit of money for you. You, on the other hand, have a Hyperion SMG which does a significant amount of damage and is a legendary weapon. It is the XZ41. And I shall purchase it, because I'm a bit of a sucker for SMGs, even though they are basically the worst weapon in this game, if we're going to be honest with each other, but yeah. Okay, oh, and thanks to the generous donation of a viewer from the previous stream, I've now bought pretty much all the SDU upgrades to a really high level, although it's 5 out of 13, so it's not that high, but I'm assuming this stays for New Game Plus and stuff, so yeah.
3 words for you. Storage deck upgrade.
Yeah. We've done the storage deck upgrade, that's what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so pistol, shotgun, rifle. This needs to change. This needs to change. SMG, pistol, rifle, sniper rifle. Good. Also, explosives enthusiast weapon trinket. Malawannabe. Can sell that because we already have it unlocked. Unleash the dragon. Oh, look at that. We can finally equip, what do you call it? This, whatever it is. Artifact. Yeah, artifact. We can finally equip an artifact. Ink and kill another weapon skin, and it doesn't look all that great, I'm going to be honest with you. The shield is terrible, so we sell it. This is terrible. We sell it. I don't like it, but I have to use this weapon, because I like this gun. I really do. It just doesn't do enough damage. So this one's getting sold as well. But I want to test out the SMG first. Could you... Wait, did I take the wrong turn? Where's the... Is the shooting range not a part of this? It is, I just need to go down here. Okay. Not bad. Look who the cat dragged in. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Unfortunately, a bit late to the party, as they say. But, yo, go back again. It's there. Oh, the shooting range. Yeah. Found it. Sorry, a bit of a delay. I like the SMG, not gonna lie. It's really steady on target. Well, once you get shooting, it's steady on target. It's rock steady once you get shooting. I like it. I'll keep it. Unfortunately, SMGs are probably like the weakest weapon in the game, or at least from what I've heard. But of course, I'm gonna be late to everything but my funeral. Hey, hopefully you know, I'll end up early to that, of course. Listen. Keep up the track record. Late to everything. Myself, I feel that. I don't think I've ever submitted any paper or anything that I needed to do on time. I think I was late for pretty much everything, work-wise. So my idea is, right, you keep up the track record of being late to everything. You have to be late to the funeral as well. Has to happen.
You have to get to that vault before the
Or that, or the universe balances itself out and you're super early to it, but that's a bit grim, so let's not go down that line of thinking. Anyways, third vault done. If you're interested, of course, this will stay up as a VOD, so, you know, you can rewind back and watch it, but I have about, like, 20 minutes of the stream left, maybe, something like that, maybe even less. I'm actually on time for anything if I can help it at a loss slightly early, but your streams apparently... Well, you know. To be fair... Okay, I'll answer in a bit, this is a story moment.
Spoiler, we are crazy close to opening the Great Vault. We found the key, BT dubs, and it is huge! So we need a crap ton of iridium to charge it, and you know what that means. Pledge drive! And since our followers go apeshit every time we maim or murder one of you, we put the next one up to a vote!
Would you believe it? Weird Scientist was our most requested murder. Beat out Annoying Robot by just a bit.
Damn it! Speaking of murder, Carnivora's getting
Like how he says, damn it.
starting soon, and it's gonna be a killer.
Claptrap, this is one competition you do not want to win.
We don't do something.
Tannis risked everything to keep Tyreen from getting to that vault monster. She deserves better than dying for the entertainment of...
Look, I know you lost your siren powers, but speak up a bit.
Vault Hunter, save her. The Calypso's mentioned a Carnivora. Go find Vaughn. I sent him to an old Crimson Raiders outpost in Devil's Razor. He's been monitoring COV movements. He'll know what's going on.
You got it, Vault Hunter, you freaking animal. Go save that science lady.
Alright. If it's the first playthrough, get the sellout pistol. It has no charge time. What's the sellout pistol? Is it the one where you, like, go and... how do I put this? I can't say the S word. God, Vaughn is such a total dweeb. Indeed, but is the sellout pistol the one where you go into the obvious death trap, and the death trap lives up to its name, and you get paid by the Calypso twins to, you know, solve yourself as a problem for them, and then you respawn and they give you the gun? Because I did that, if that's what you mean by the sellout pistol. Okay, yeah, so it's a Malawan, well, yeah, and here yourself, you can just pause at the death trap and teleport. And you still get the gun. See, I did not know that! That's the one, yeah. I didn't realize at all that it's called Hazardous Sellout. I got it. It's a good pistol. It's a very good pistol. I did not know you could gain the system. Is there... I need to know this. Is there special dialogue if you teleport and still get the gun? If there isn't... Wasted opportunity. Wasted opportunity. You could have... We were so close to greatness, developers of the game. We were so close to greatness if there isn't special dialogue for it. If there is, half of me wants to go back and do it again. I know I can't, but... No, it treats just like you died. Ah. Damn it. We were so close to greatness. We were so close. It could have been the most awesome thing ever, and yet, despite that... Still, it's good that you... It's a good pistol to get. I remember in Borderlands 2 you had a similar quest with Handsome Jack, but it's way funnier, because he contacts you and he goes, listen, I'm so tired of this. You keep winning everywhere and you keep being a thorn in my side. I will literally pay you to go and jump off a cliff and die. And he does. And you can go and you can jump off a cliff and he does pay you. The funniest thing, I think, is for most people, even in your first playthrough, even in your first playthrough, the amount of the reward money you get barely pays or doesn't even pay for the price of respawning, especially if you had a lot of money saved up. Because obviously you know that the amount you pay for respawning scales with the amount of money you have in the bank. It was really funny, you know, but the reward was a bit meh. Here it's not as funny, but the reward is a lot better. The pistol's actually really good. Yeah. And it's incendiary too, which plays really well with my character, and because most of my abilities are based around incendiary weapons, so... Yeah. The respawn, yeah, make sure you're dead broke before you do it on purpose. Yeah, that did not think that far in advance, shall we say. Did not think that far in advance. Ended up paying way too much. Just suffice to say, way too much for the pistol. But, you know, it's okay. Hot Rod is a really nice skin, too. Well, a color scheme, it's not a skin. Ooh, I like this one as well. No, that's good thinking, though. Like, save it there, and... No, I'm totally getting this. I know I wasted all the iridium, all of it, for cosmetics. Yuck. But, yeah, what can I do? Find the entry requirements. That's going to be over here. I am the children of the vault. Pandora's next top mouthpiece. Oh, yeah, it's the one where you go back and fight the mouthpiece again. Yeah, I know about this one. I don't remember if I did it in the previous playthrough. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I think after Eden, I don't think I finished Eden 6, and then afterwards, like all of this is completely new to me, like a complete mystery. Also, base game rifle that is legit nice is the laser spluder. Tell you what I find impressive is that I have a legendary weapon in every single slot. The amount of grinding that you would need to do to get this in Borderlands 2 is unparalleled. Like, sickening. But here, I just like normal playthrough. 31 legendary, 29 legendary, 31 legendary, 34 legendary. Done. It's a pity they never buffed it. Well, to be fair, the game's not really that hard, so you can just get away with using some weapons because they're fun. Hyperfocus used to be amazing, but they nerfed it into the ground. Hyperfocus, yeah, I mean, it's an SMG, so, you know. But it is, at least for now, it's not bad, right? I wouldn't use it as an endgame weapon, but for the next few levels, the damage that it has right now is, yeah. You have to grind an insane amount to get the legendary you want, though. Well, yeah, okay. But you know what they say, beggars can't be choosers. You can't exactly be like, oh, the game's giving me only 6 legendaries, but none of them are the one I want now. No, be content with what you have. Or don't, because the entire loop of the game is in the end game is to get the legendary weapon you want. I understand that. I'm not. Sure, yes, but at any rate, it is very generous with legendary weapons. Is my whole point. Just to get a single one in Borderlands 2 was pain in the rear. However, at the same time, legendary weapons, I feel like in Borderlands 2 were a little bit more powerful. So, return to the droughts on Pandora. No, we're gonna go and do. Well, we're probably not gonna go and do this, but you know, well, he's gonna start off the quest.
Those filthy vault thieves murdered our most favorite mouthpiece, so we've got an opening.
Prove your loyalty to earn your place in the auditions. Steal the Hammer Clan's banner. Blow up the War Pig's War Pig. And, I don't know. Loot Putter Gunk's strongbox.
Bring your special offerings to the Holy Broadcasting Center or we'll kill you on sight. Good luck.
Sounds like you know what you got.
There's a boss fight here that I know of.
Get to it, Vault Hunter.
Guess they couldn't hack it. Ursicor never dies!
Alright, so what, let's do this boss fight and then we'll take it from there. Keppa's Organ is good as a grenade to get Health Siphon. Speaking of Health Siphon, I have now, as a result of my skills, Lifesteal upon shooting enemies while sprinting, and the ability to shoot and sprint at the same time. It does wonders for the movement speed and generally the speed of combat. And it didn't look like it would be all that important. But honestly, it kind of helps. It really does. Okay, so speaking of being generous with legendary weapons, right? Hort Nasty Skeksil. Shooting sprint 1 point is just so life quality. Yep, it is just one single point. It's pretty decent. I didn't think I'd use it that much. On paper, it didn't look like the most useful thing in the world, but it's actually a good bit of... I'll grab the legendary, don't worry. I'm just going to grab the stuff that I need to sell first. I'm thinking whether I switch for the gun or not. On paper, it didn't look that effective, and then that sort of important, but 8% is a lot when a lot of your weapons do insane amounts of damage, so yeah, it's pretty good. Hort Nasty Skeksil. Nah, it's a COV weapon. I don't like COV weapons in general, but yeah. Alright. Tell you what, it is 2:20 PM. In 2:30 PM, I need to be out of here and going to pick up some furniture and have some stuff to do around town. I also need to go and argue with my ISP, which is something I talked about at the very beginning of the stream, and their interesting service models and philosophy, shall we say. But yeah, at any rate, let me just check one thing. What is the next thing I need to grab? Let's get something from the purple tree, because it's been a while. Okay, am I grabbing... I'm grabbing this to 3, this to 3 as well. Alright, fair enough. Good. So, that's done. Let's see you. Yeah, it'll just be a minute. I'll do the whole, whatchamacallit, outro. Definitely some... Yep, definitely something British, except the ISP shit. Our ISP here is garbage too. 150 USD for 1 gigabyte internet. Jesus Christ, man. I keep telling people that. Nobody believes me. I get into... You know what? Listen, we can talk about that for just a minute. I'm going to quit the desktop, and I'm going to switch to this screen over here. I can address that for just a couple of minutes before I have to go. Listen, I talk to people here and I'm like, look, our ISPs are scum and you haggle with them and there's problems. If you have a stable internet connection, you're happy. Some of them don't even have that, but generally speaking, it's great. It's not much better across the pond. Like, people have ISP problems everywhere, whether it's pricing, whether it's speed, like it's universally not as great. And people are like, no, you know what, we're an underdeveloped country, like, I bet Germany and, you know, the US, they have no ISP problems whatsoever. I'm trying to explain to people, a lot of the US has limitations on bandwidth, so you can only download, whatever, like 500 gigabytes or 5 terabytes, whatever, per month. And if you want more, you have to pay for it. To us here, that's unimaginable. Like, unlimited bandwidth has been the thing since dial-up internet. Bandwidth has never been limited for home internet. For mobile data, like, always, yeah. But for home internet, it's never been limited. Yeah, and so, oh yeah, we do have ISP problems, bad ones, exactly. And so, like, I try and explain that to people, and like, no, because, like, officially, economically speaking, two of the most GDP and general development of telecommunications and stuff, and infrastructure are the most prominent indicators of a developed country, and I'm like, yeah, sure, but it's you know, it's not ideal over there as well. We don't have it as bad as you guys think, and people just don't believe me on that. Like, I'm like, go look it up. Like, go look up, I don't know, fucking AT&T or whatever. And then compare their speeds with ours. We're really not that bad. I can't believe they don't realize that. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a mentality of we're sort of lagging behind the rest of Europe, so they have to have it better in every single way, shape, and form. And to some extent, that's true, with salaries and general quality of life and GDP and whatever. Fair enough, but there's problems across the border as well. Trust me, it's not all flowers and roses. I Altis or Charter, it's bad. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, they charged me for something that they were not supposed to, so now I need to go and rectify that. That's all I'm doing. But you can rewind the beginning of the stream if you want. I talked about for like an hour about how they sold me. Yeah, we can tailor our use in the US. It's nice. That is good. That is good. But it's also pricey. Like if you want unlimited bandwidth and good speed, it's really pricey. Like, I'm paying, I think, around $30 for 600 through... Oh, well, more like $40. $40 for 600 through 600, upload and download, and I get TV with that, and I get HBO with that, and I get, like, a bunch of other perks, and I get a landline phone with that as well. So it's a package deal, it's not just internet. And this is one of the more expensive ones. You can get, like, 600 through 300... download and upload respectively, and you get TV with that as well, and it's I think around $30 or something like that, which is like it's all right, you know. I mean, given the living standards over here, it's yeah. $95 for 750 megabytes. Yeah, no TV, phone, anything. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Although, granted, the average salary in the rest of Europe is a lot higher, but it sort of balances out, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not that bad. Although they did increase the prices by, like, 30% last month. And I am just so glad I signed the contract, a 2-year contract prior to that. Like, I dodged a bullet there, literally. That actually sounds good compared to here. Yeah, but, like, my salary is around 800 euros. And it's above average for the country. So, yikes. And then at the same time, however, we don't pay as much in taxes, so, you know. But, of course, living conditions are way better in the rest of Europe, definitely, because the prices of everything here skyrocketed over the last few years. It's odd, I used to think that the pound was going to be higher than the dollar and slower than the dollar and the euros. Well, yeah, the pound dipped as high hell as well. Well, that's depressing as heck. Yeah, I have a grad degree in business, mind you. Yeah, I have a degree as well. I'm in the last few stages of PhD. I've done all the exams and everything. I'm finishing my PhD studies, and the most I can muscle is like 1,000 euros a month. Unless I open up my own company or something, but if I want to work as an employee somewhere, like 1,000 euros a month is the highest I can get to reasonably without going, without having some extremely lucky position or something. So, yikes. So in that context, $60 or $50 for internet is all of a sudden not that cheap, But at any rate, food here is ridiculously expensive too. Like food and utilities, that's 1,000 euros a month is like literal poverty. What the hell? No, 1,000 euros a month here is you being rich. That's what it is here. Like 1,000 euros a month, mind you, after tax, is literally like rich people money here. I think the median salary, which is like what 50% of the population makes, is less than 500 euros. It's like 400 euros or 400 something euros. That is terrible. It's pretty much what I'm living on. Not really living either over here. Yeah. I mean, sucks. But the median salary here is god awful, and then you have the situation where the prices skyrocketed recently by like 50%, 60%, stuff like that. My salary used to be, I think, around 600 euros 3 years ago. I could buy so much more stuff with 600 euros a couple of years ago compared to today with 800 euros. Like, we did get a pay increase, but inflation ate it away. Like, it's gone. Another girl getting 1.5 thousand pounds, 1.5, try again, Juggernaut, 1.5 thousand UK pounds for being disabled. Yeah, UK has it good as well, I mean, compared to us, but yeah, like Eastern Europe, Southeastern Europe, the Balkans, we're not exactly known for being the bedrock of financial stability or prosperity, what can I say? Or she spent it all on booze or whatever, rich dad and buys her gifts whenever she lives with her mum smoking and stuff. Yeah, well, you know. Judge not lest ye be judged and all that, but I understand completely what you mean. It's unfortunate. 1,500 quid, pretty much. Yeah. Yikes. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining the stream and for being a part of the live viewing audience or for watching the VOD. I know the VOD gets quite a lot of views as well, and people are quite interested in this Borderlands Let's Play, so I highly appreciate it. We have some new additions, as you can see on the stream. I have the chat in the lower left corner. I think it's large enough to not be too distracting, but you know, still there, so you can see what I'm talking to people and what I'm answering and stuff like that. And on top of that, we also have bot commands, so we can now say 8-Ball is Juggernaut going to be late to his... Is Juggernaut going to be late if he doesn't end the stream now? Watch it not work now, just to spite. The 8-Ball says, you will have to wait. Well, that doesn't really answer my question, but fine. Thank you, Magic 8-Ball. Cheers and have a good day. Cheers to you too, mate, and thank you for joining in. And I look forward to continuing this, and I look forward to streaming some Dead Space, right? Is it Dead Space? That's what the game is called? Let me just check. Dead Space, yeah. I bought the Dead Space remaster, and I will definitely stream it. I'm not looking forward to it, because I get so terrified of horror games. Absolutely terrifying. But for that stream, I will make an announcement in advance. And I will put, like, stream will start in, like, 10 hours or 12 hours or whatever, so I will announce it, and it'll probably happen sometime next week, I think, because tomorrow all the way up until Friday, I think I'm away. There will just be YouTube videos, and so maybe the weekend, I reckon we can get some streaming done of that. But thank you, everyone. That will be it for now. Have a good day. And I will see you later in a YouTube video or in another stream. I'm starting to stumble over my words. Been talking for too much. All right, have fun. Take care. Bye bye.